Last week in the Eagles' win over Montana, wide receiver Cooper Kupp hauled in a career-high 12 catches. The Redbirds' Marshawn Coppridge has 12 straight 100-yard rushing games and is hoping to run his team into the semifinals next week. Illinois State faces Eastern Washington in the quarterfinals of the FCS championships right now. Welcome to the NCAA FCS Championship Quarterfinal presented by Northwestern Mutual. From a somewhat foggy Roos Field in Cheney, Washington, it's a matchup of the Illinois State Redbirds out of the Missouri Valley Conference and the Big Sky's Eastern Washington Eagles. So happy you could join us from Cheney, Washington, along with former NFL quarterback Jay Walker. I'm Mark Neely. Jay, the winner of this game is going to have to face the #1 seed New Hampshire next week. And oh yeah, that North Dakota State team still hanging around looking to make it 4 in a row.
Well, to be the man, you have to beat the man, and the Bison are telling everybody, we've won 3 championships, we won a 4th one. Hard-fought victory versus Coastal Carolina, #1 seed New Hampshire with wide receiver phenom R.J. Harris. It's going to be very tough to go there and beat them on the road, but we're going to have the final spot punched here today as these 2 football teams go at it in what should be a fantastic football game.
Well, if to be the man, you got to beat the man. For Illinois State, they have to beat Eastern Washington. They lost here on this field in the quarterfinals 2 years ago, 51-35.
But what a fantastic opportunity to show where your program is compared to 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they might have come here and got starstruck, or maybe the color of the red turf called the Inferno might have gotten to them, but they're here to prove that their dream season is not going to come to an end here in Cheney, Washington. They've got a good opportunity.
Well, somebody who's still around for Eastern Washington, their quarterback, Vernon Adams, once again a Peyton Award finalist.
Vernon Adams Jr., the most prolific offensive weapon in all of FCS football. The only loss they had to an FCS team this year came when he was not starting. When he's in the lineup, this offense is dynamic. The vertical passing game on full display, his ability to extend plays makes this offense almost impossible to stop. They're the #1 scoring offense in all of FCS football.
And for Illinois State, IU transfer Trey Robertson has been a huge lift for them this season.
And Trey Robertson has gone under the radar a little bit because of the phenomenal season that running back Coppridge is having. But Trey Robertson's playing football at a very high level. He's starting to fully command this offense. And when you talk to the coaches, they tell you this offense can go as far as Trey Robertson can take us.
Yeah, the head coach for Eastern Washington, Bo Baldwin, in his 7th season. Of course, he was the FCS Coach of the Year when they won the national championship back in 2010. And Brock Spack is the Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year this year. That breaks the string. Craig Bohl of North Dakota State, who of course left to go to Wyoming, had won the last 3 Conference Coaches of the Year. And Brock Spack, who played his college ball at Purdue, brings a very kind of Big Ten-ish mentality to his team, Jay.
Yeah, Coach Spack has done a good job of really knocking on the door of being the premier program in the MVFC football conference. Fantastic. They've been playing second fiddle to North Dakota State for so many years. Now he thinks he has a team that can compete with the Bison on a yearly basis.
And he said basically every conference game was like a playoff game in the Missouri Valley Conference this year. With all the playoff teams, they had 5. Now, there has been fog off and on. I'll be happy if it actually gets to partly cloudy and sometime during the day, because the fog kind of lifts for a while, then it comes back. 40 degrees, which actually is fairly warm for this time of year in this part of the country. Let's take a look at our plan for success, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.
I think the game plan, if you're Illinois State, on offense, you must avoid the turnovers. Eastern Washington is one of the top 15 teams in turnover margin in the country, and maintain ball control. By doing that, you keep Vernon Adams on the sidelines. Defensively, you must contain the number of big plays Vernon Adams is able to accomplish. He's going to get his numbers, but try and limit the number of big plays he can get. Eastern Washington, they must protect Vernon Adams. They're going against one of the best front 4 defensive line they've seen all season long. And their defense, if there's a weakness on this Eagles squad, it's the defensive secondary. They've given up, on average, 271 yards per game. They can be exposed for big plays in the secondary.
Well, Eastern Washington won the coin toss. They have elected to receive. They are, of course, in the red uniforms, and that's Illinois State in the white. Their senior kicker, Nick Ossaker, with Shaq Hill, redshirt junior out of Stockton, California, back deep. 3rd ever meeting, of course, as we mentioned at the top. They met here 2 years ago in the quarterfinals, a game that was won by Eastern Washington. Great to have you with us for this FCS quarterfinal matchup from Cheney, Washington. And we are underway. They look to keep it out of the hands of Hill, and it's a short kick taken at the 22-yard line. And still on his feet up to the 35, and a nice move to the 40. On a return by one of the upmen, Zamora.
Great recognition on special teams, giving the Eagles great field position to start this contest.
And the quarterback, Vernon Adams Jr.
Quite simply, he gets it done. Look at the career numbers, almost 11,000 yards of total offense already in his junior season. He's going to rewrite many record books, and dare I say, will challenge the offensive records of one Steve Air McNair on the FCS level.
Forte is the back, play fake. Here's Adams looking to throw on first down. Steps up, bumped into his own lineman, and then is brought down at the 39, and he will lose a yard. Tackled there by Teddy Corwin. Let's take a look at our impact players, Jay.
When you take a look at Eastern Washington, we know Vernon Adams is going to be a fantastic football player. He's going to get things going, but you must have help from the supporting cast.
So after a loss, it is 2nd down and 11. Adams looks left, throws off the hands of Hill, who may have heard some footsteps as Dante McCoy was in the vicinity covering, and then McCoy and Hill with some words for each other.
Take a look at Cooper Kupp, the wide receiver, All-American wide receiver. He's the go-to guy for Vernon Adams. He has 14 touchdowns on the season, which is a lot. And Mike Banks, the cornerback for Illinois State, they like to line him up man-to-man. He's been a 4-year starter for the Redbirds, and they think, although he's small in size, he makes up for it with his instinct on the football field.
Yeah, they love him as their best cover cornerback. On 3rd down and long, Adams stumbling, rolls out, throws deep, looking for Kupp, waits for it, and a flag.
Well, this is what Vernon Adams does well, the ability to extend the play. You talk about being a dual threat quarterback. He doesn't look to run. He looks to find escape hatches so he can extend the play.
Pass interference.
Almost
Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Tevin Allen called for the pass interference. Really, Adams, though, if he puts more zip on that ball, I mean, Kupp had several steps. That could have been a touchdown.
He was scrambling there, and the ball didn't get out there far enough. But that tells you, 1, Adams has the ability to extend the play, and 2, Kupp has the ability to get behind the secondary of Illinois State.
So the first down of the game comes thanks to penalty, because remember, that was a 3rd and long. And it's a first down at the Illinois State 46. Going to give Forte a chance to run it for the first time. Looking to stretch and grabbed by the jersey. Pat Meehan with the tackle.
And in talking to the coaches, you almost had the feeling that Illinois State was willing to sacrifice the pass coverage in order to make sure that Quincy Forte didn't get off to a good start. They say when they took on the Eagles 2 years ago, the running game really took them by surprise. And I don't think you're going to see that happen this time. They're going to key in on the rushing attack for Eastern Washington.
No gain on that last play. 2nd down and 10, and then some movement. Looked like on the right side of that line for Eastern Washington.
Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's the right guard, Thomas Gomez, who moved early. So Henry Wimberg, our referee. This is a Colonial Athletic Association officiating crew here today in Big Sky Country. 2nd down and 15, ball back in midfield. Adams throws a strike. Kupp up to the 46-yard line. What was the original line of scrimmage prior to the false start penalty, and a gain of about 5. And the catch for Kupp. His team leading 95th catch of the year. Remember last year he set the FCS freshman record for receptions, Jay, with 93. And well, he's better than his sophomore year.
What happened to the sophomore slump that we always hear about? Not with Cooper Kupp. Continues to get better, and surprisingly for a receiver his size, very quick in and out of his breaks. 6'2", 185 pounds.
Looking to convert a 3rd down and 9, and dumped off, and oh, was that intercepted? No, incomplete. Shane Glass nearly picked that off after it went off the fingertips of the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
trying to disrupt the timing of the passing game. And you see Adams has to get rid of this football a little bit quicker than he's used to, and that close to being an interception.
Off the fingers of Cup, nearly picked off, and Eastern Washington to punt here on their first possession. Jake Miller. And back deep, Lasheen Neblett standing at his own 10, the left-footed punter. Miller gets it away, and the fair catch called for. He'll let it bounce over his head, and they will not be able to down it. It's into the end zone for a touchback. Eastern Washington had a golden opportunity there to pin Illinois State in deep. 45-yard punt. Well, he spent several years at Indiana and decided to transfer down to the FCS level, and what a find he has been for Illinois State.
Been fantastic. Had to share time last year at Indiana. Decided to make a move, and there was some thought that he would have to share time here at Illinois State, but he took over the offense quickly and is really playing football at a high level, particularly with the read option combination of he and Coppridge in the backfield.
O'Shaughnessy went in motion. Coppridge gets the carry straight ahead, 30, spun down at the 32-yard line. So on the first offensive play of the game for the Redbirds, it's a 12-yard pickup for Marshawn Coppridge.
And I was really impressed with Marshawn Coppridge. You see the numbers, which are phenomenal, over 1,800 yards on the year before. Man of his size, he runs so hard, and yet he has quick feet. Almost able to step out of that tackle, gets his momentum going to the line of scrimmage in a hurry, but still has a shiftiness about him that you don't find in many physical runners.
In motion goes Neblett. Keeping this time, Roberson makes a cut on his feet to the 40. Another move, and he has another first down, it looks like, all the way up near the 42-yard line. A 10-yard run for Roberson, and already we see the combination of Coppridge and Roberson.
They get used to it. You're going to see this over and over again. You've got an 1,800-yard runner in Coppridge, and then you bring in Roberson, who already has 700 yards rushing on the season, to go along with 8 touchdowns. They're the number 1 and 2 rushers on this team, and number 3 is somewhere in the far distance. When the ball's on the ground, one of these two will have it, and they're very, very difficult to tackle in open space.
First down, Illinois State on their first possession from their own 42. And Robertson pulls it down. He runs again straight ahead. Tumbles down at the 48-yard line. Gains about 6, tackled by Samson Ebukam.
You just have the feeling that these quarterbacks are going to elevate their play. I mean, as a former quarterback, I know when you have somebody on the other sideline that maybe gets a little bit more notoriety than you have, more publicity or press, that makes you raise your game. And you can tell Trey Roberson's running with an extra pep in his step. And he and Vernon Adams, they're going to have a nice, good old-fashioned shootout here on the Inferno.
Roberson goes under center on second down and 4. Hands off, Coppridge fights his way forward. He's close to the first down near the 48-yard line of Eastern Washington. Let's take a look at our impact players when the Redbirds have the football.
Well, you see what Coppridge can do. You see those yards, but he also has 22 rushing touchdowns on the season, 6.1 average per carry. And Tevin McDonald, the free safety, son of former NFL player Tim McDonald. He's the 3rd lead tackler on the squad. He's an NFL talent. He has to be very active in his run support today.
Now they marked him a little short of the first down, so it's 3rd and less than a yard, and the handoff goes to Coppridge, and he has it easily up near the 45. First down, Redbirds.
This is the type of drive that Illinois State had to have. Establish control of the line of scrimmage. Coming out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference, they're known for being physical, for having the ability to run the ball, and they have not disappointed thus far. The offensive line up front doing a fantastic job getting it done.
First 5 plays have all been running plays for Illinois State. Let's see if they decide to throw on first down. They do so. Robertson hits his man at the 40-yard line, and then immediately slipping and falling is Neblett. He gains close to 6. Sheen Neblett, who is a senior out of Madison, Wisconsin. 2nd team All Missouri Valley Conference this year. Also a contributor on special teams for the Redbirds. We had a game here 2 years ago at Eastern Washington. 6 catches, 101 yards, and a TD. So he's one of the veterans that have returned Try to erase that bad memory from the quarterfinal loss here 2 years ago. Roberson, time to throw across the middle, and that could have been picked off. Incomplete at the 35. A flag is down. That was Ronnie Hamlin. Had a chance to pick it off. Always easy to pick out Ronnie Hamlin on the field with that hair.
You see Roberson gets rid of the football. Great job
Personal
undercutting the route.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 67. Hit the quarterback below the knee. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, a costly mistake by the true freshman nose tackle Dylan Donahue, number 67.
And you see they made it clear with the call. Hit the quarterback below the knee. Close, questionable, might have started on the thigh, but the rule of college football and pro football for that matter is safety on the quarterback position.
Call that the Tom Brady rule, right? From a few years ago, and that how that really started?
I think it's a good rule. I mean, you have a quarterback in a vulnerable position trying to throw the football.
Well, a first down for Illinois State on the 25-yard line of the Eagles. Robertson to the sideline, and a catch is made by Cameron Meredith, the wide receiver. Meredith's an impressive target, 6'3", 200-pound senior with his team-leading 52nd catch of the year.
Big target. Nice average yards per reception. And it just works. When you look at this offense, and when we talk about Eastern Washington's offense, this is an offense for Illinois State that averages almost 39 points per game. They run the ball very well, but they throw for almost 224 yards a game.
Well, no John Robertson, a quarterback for Villanova. They're down 3 in the fourth quarter to Sam Houston State. This is Coppridge inside the 15.
That Sam Houston State versus Villanova game, Casey Keeler, longtime coach at Delaware. Now he's at Sam Houston State taking on an old CAA foe. So maybe the Bobcats had a little advantage going on the road, taking on Villanova. And as you mentioned, Villanova without the services of Robertson due to a concussion. Things aren't looking so good right now for the Wildcats.
First down, Illinois State from the 13, handoff, and that time Coppridge tackled for a loss. Micaiah Zamora and Ronnie Hamlin, number 39 there.
Hamlin will be all over the football field, but you get the feeling that whenever they decide to do a long backfield action like that last play there, the speed of the Eastern Washington defense will take over. I think the success running the football for Illinois State's going to be running the power game with that zone read, make one cut and go.
10th play of this initial drive for the Redbirds. Keeping Roberson looking towards the end zone, throwing high, incomplete. His receiver was double covered there, Cam Meredith, with Rashad Wadu, one of those there on the coverage for the Eagles.
Fake the zone read, they're not full. Good job of dropping into coverage, and you see, you have to find a different place to go with the football. That's McDonald and Wadu with great coverage on the receiver.
Third down at 11. They converted a third and short earlier on the drive, but this is their first third and long from the 14-yard line. McDonald, the receiver, at the top of the screen. In motion goes O'Shaughnessy, the tight end, going towards O'Shaughnessy, and that's incomplete. That ball sailed on Roberson and had Raines, the safety, when looking at the ball instead of the intended receiver. He might have picked that one off.
And this was a drift. They thought that O'Shaughnessy was uncovered like a blown coverage. So O'Shaughnessy does the right thing. Stop. Get me the ball so then I can run upfield. But you see Roberson leads him upfield towards the safety. I think that's a mistake on Roberson. O'Shaughnessy did the right thing. Stop, get the ball, make somebody miss.
Nick Ossaker out of the hold of Scott Kewen. 31-yard attempt and knocks it through. So Illinois State does pick up points on their first possession with the field goal from senior Nick Ossaker. So each team has had the football once so far. 7:37 to play in the first. 3-0 Redbirds. The NCAA FCS Football Championship is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. The NCAA FCS Football Championship is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Illinois State using a 12-play drive, 66 yards in just over 5 minutes. The 31-yard field goal for Ossaker. And for Illinois State, playing in their 13th game of the season, Jay, that's the 9th time this year of the 13 games they've scored on their first series.
Productive offense. We talked about Eastern Washington's offense. This is not a bad offensive unit. They're in the top 10 in total points, so that lets you know they have the ability to put points on the board. Just wonder in this football game, if it becomes a shootout, who's going to have more bullets in the gun?
Ossaker kicking off, Hill deep. Ossaker kicked short last time, and he's going to kick short again. Taking it to 26-yard line, up to the 35. Hill has a 90-yard kickoff return for touchdown this year, so I assume that's the reason he's garnering so much respect. That time, Jake Gall, one of the upmen on the return. Rocks back, whose Redbirds have the lead, and here comes Vernon Adams Jr. By the way, Vernon Adams III was born in June. And they call his young son Cash.
Cash.
With a K. K-A-S-H. Handed off straight ahead. Forte. Up to the 40-yard line. It picks up 5 on first down.
You can see how Eastern Washington, they're going to try and force feed the run. The numbers don't dictate that you run the football. Illinois State's keeping 6 men around the box, saying you have to throw it. They still decide to run.
Adams going deep in double coverage, tipped incomplete. The intended receiver Corey Mitchell, who was double covered by Dante McCoy.
This is what you have to love about this offense. So often you see horizontal passing games. They utilize the vertical passing game. They're going to take deep shots down the field to try and hit the home run. That's a lost art in today's college football landscape.
So Mike Banks also back there on the coverage. He had the primary coverage. 3rd down and 5. Adams 1 of 4 through the air so far, 6 yards. Tries to improve on that. Does what he does so well, extending the play, and a first down strike across midfield. That ball comes loose, and Illinois State says they have it. That Kendrick Bourne, after the catch, coughed it up, and the Redbirds do indeed take over at their own 45.
It was a good job by Adams of extending the play, but a fantastic job punching the ball out by Mike Banks. You can see Adams extend the play, and after Bourne makes the catch, great job of punching that ball from behind.
So the turnover gives it to Illinois State with excellent field position at their own 45. So an early turnover here with 6:55 to play first quarter from Eastern Washington. Roberson throws on first down. Quick strike out to midfield, and that's Meredith who's out of bounds at the 49 of Eastern Washington. Averaging over 76 yards receiving per game is the senior out of Westchester, Illinois. Guy who's a former quarterback. That's 6'3" size. With a good day today, Meredith would go over 1,000 yards receiving. Came in at 907. You see how well the Redbirds have done in the first quarter this year. Coppridge bangs around up near the 45, close to another first down.
And you're seeing the Eagles get penetration on the defensive line, but Coppridge has the ability to run through arm tackles. Even though contact is being made in the backfield, his forward lean is able to pick up positive yards. That last play was a perfect example. They had his number called, but could not bring him down, setting up 3rd and 1.
Illinois State 1 of 2 on 3rd down. They converted a 3rd and 1 on their first drive. Did not convert a 3rd and 11 and settled for the 31-yard field goal. 3rd and short here. Coppridge. First down, a lot more, and may go. And there is the touchdown saving tackle by Todd Raines at the 20.
Great job schematically. They brought an extra offensive lineman in on the left side, give you the ball up the middle with a cut lane you over pursue on the right side. Touchdown saving tackle in the secondary by Todd Raines. But I told you, Coppridge has the ability to run hard and enough wiggle to make you miss. That's a pretty dangerous combination to have in the backfield with those type of talents.
Got to have some wiggle. He needed 1 for a first down. He got 26. He has 7 carries, 49 yards already. Play fake. Roberson throws at the 5 and incomplete for John Mark Anderson. No, they're saying he got that at the 5. Completed pass. Say he is out at the 7. It'll be 1st and goal. Kind of hard to see through the fog at times.
It's definitely getting foggy. You see the throw. Leads him a little bit, but great job making the catch. Knee is down. That's a catch. Roberson, not an easy throw. Rolling out to his left, having to throw across his body.
Yeah, don't adjust your TV, folks. And I know in this day and age we don't do that much anyway, or your computer if you're watching on that, but it is fog here. They're going to take a look at this with the replay official, but what we just saw, this is going to be a catch and a 1st and goal.
It will be. Is it, you say don't adjust your eyes for the turf or for the fall?
Well, either one. It's quite a combination. Take another look at.
He's got the ball. He's holding on to it.
He completed the catch.
Move. Yeah, no movement on the ball. Gives it to the official right away. That's everything you have to call that a catch. And the rule is if you leave your feet, you must maintain possession of the ball and have the ability to give it to the official as soon as you get up. I think it was all right there.
So this call should at least stand, if not be confirmed by the booth. And regardless of how this drive ends, Jay, yeah, they say it is confirmed. To this point, right now, Brocksback's Redbirds have made the early statement in this game with their offense.
They wanted a piece of Eastern Washington. You could tell just in talking to them, and they thought their defense would do a good job, and offensively, the offensive line is really controlling the line of scrimmage, having their way with the front 4 of Eastern Washington. That could be a problem throughout this contest.
1st and goal, Redbirds at the 7. Coppridge stretching it out, running right, using that speed, gets to the edge and skips near the pylon. Is he in?
That's
yes, touchdown.
And you know what I like about that run? That was a very tough run he had. He made it look easy. He threw 3 or 4 shakes in there for the threat of turning upfield. If you take a look, watch him give a wiggle here, get outside, give another wiggle here, get outside, find the pylon. Great runners know how to get to the end zone. And Marshawn Coppridge is showing he's a great runner.
His 23rd rushing touchdown of the season for the Missouri Valley Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Nick Ossaker's point after makes this a 10-0 game with just under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Well, right now, the home crowd, the home team, perhaps a little stunned. Coppridge with a TD run. 10-zip Redbirds. 10-0 Illinois State. 4:57 to play first quarter. As head coach Brock Spack's team out to the lead in this football game, this quarterfinal. With this run for Coppridge, he breaks the Illinois State single-season record for all-purpose yards, passing Pierre Rimbert, who had the record of 1,909 yards back in '06. And Coppridge has passed that and also moved to third on the all-time career rushing list for the Redbirds. And just a 5-play drive.
The dream season for Illinois State continues. They've set a record for most victories in the season already.
11-1
during the regular season. Now they've got the most total victories in the season, and they want to keep it going. Right now they're off to a good start here in Cheney.
Keep it away from Hill, taking it the 20-yard line and advance to the 31-yard line. That time, Avili, one of the up men with the return.
Whoa.
Sam Houston State takes out the 6 seed Villanova. Again, Villanova did not have John Robertson, their quarterback, due to concussive symptoms, which kind of came on late. It just sprung up today that the news that he would not start.
Yeah, he had the symptoms, and you have to do the right thing. It's all about health, but give credit to the Bobcats going on the road, knocking off Nova, a team that has FCS experience.
Well, you don't say the team named Sam Houston State very loudly here in Cheney, Washington either, do you?
No,
that's off the Hanson Cup.
They knocked off these Eagles, was it not last season, but the season before last.
In fact, that was right after they beat Illinois State here. Then they lost to Sam Houston State. Vernon Adams says he's just happy, missing 4 games this season, to still be in this Peyton Award finalist list.
I think if he stays healthy, I think the consensus is he walks away with the Peyton Award. He's even having some Heisman Trophy consideration with his performance he had versus the FBS opponents. But I still think his numbers are high enough up there. I think it's his award still.
On the delay, Forte. See with the spot, he may have the first down up at the 41-yard line before he's tackled by Teddy Corwin.
Now starting to run the football. A little draw trap in there. Good job by Forte. Lowering the shoulder pad level and picking up the first down. Now, I assure you, once you see that, now you're going to start seeing Illinois State go back to their base defense. 4-3, keep 7 men around the line of scrimmage. Really challenging Eastern Washington to throw the football.
Adams looks to take him up on that challenge and throws high over the head of Kendrick Bourne. I mentioned he missed 4 games. Adams broke his foot in the Idaho State game on October 4th. He missed 4 games: Southern Utah, Northern Colorado, the loss at Northern Arizona, and the North Dakota game. And so far today, just 2 of 7 through the air.
Frame that shot. That 2 for 7.
Not going to last very long.
Oh, I promise you it won't. You know, they're coming out a little bit rusty, but this offense, a little bit off rhythm right now, but it doesn't take much for them to jumpstart and score points in bunches.
Hill in motion on 2nd down and 10. And a timeout called by Eastern Washington. I think your point that they're just not in sync right now offensively.
And I think you have to give credit to Illinois State. They've been able to disrupt them right now. And right now, the Eagles of Eastern Washington take a timeout to find their comfort level and see if it works.
Welcome back to the NCAA FCS Championship quarterfinal presented by Northwestern Mutual. 4:15 left first quarter. The reason Eastern Washington is here, they were able to hold off Montana a week ago, but the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year got to go up against the Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year.
And at the end, the Eagles able to win a rematch, which is never easy to do, particularly in postseason. Hard-fought contest, and Montana, good football team, couldn't get the job done here in Cheney.
Forte running right, turns it back upfield and gets near midfield, about 2 or 3 yards from the first down. It's going to break up a 3rd and short. Dante McCoy, senior, with the tackle. One of their vocal leaders, McCoy, on the Redbird defense.
And we're starting to see the Eagles' rushing attack find creases in the defensive line of Illinois State. The strength of this defense for Illinois State is their front four. They don't bring a lot of pressure from their linebackers because they said, quite honestly, our front four defensive linemen have always found a way to get home during the regular season. No need to change.
Eagles 0 of 2 on 3rd down so far. Had converted a 3rd down on their last drive, but then the completed pass to Bourne was fumbled away, going for Cup, and Cup makes the catch. Run out of bounds at the 10. You talk about a perfect pass, perfect placement. Glass had nice coverage, but the catch by Cup, big gain or first down.
If they make you defend the whole field, you're thinking 3rd and 1, they're going to throw the ball short, pick up the first down. No, they get their best wide receiver on a deep route downfield, and those are those explosive plays we said that Illinois State must limit from Eastern Washington.
It picked up 39, and look at this run. Forte not to be denied. No, they're going to call him down.
They'll review that. That should be a touchdown.
The field judge is saying he was down, or the side judge is, but I'm with you. First sight, I thought he was in.
Finding the creases. They've been able to find creases, and he's just going to keep his legs churning. That knee is down in the end zone. They're going to take a look at this one, and this should be a touchdown. Forte's down on the field pointing. Look up top.
A great view there. You could see his knee came down on the white line.
Prior to scoring is under further review.
So it'll go upstairs to the replay official. Was there enough, though, what you saw? Because there's a lot of bodies in the way there, Jay. Was there enough to be 100% sure that he was in?
I think so. And if you see one look, the only thing you may see is, was he down like a yard out? But I think if you go by where that knee went down, if you're saying the knee is down right there, maybe that would be about a yard out, but I don't think so. His momentum lands him in the end zone.
McCoy tried to strip it out, spun him around.
It's right there. I think, no, that knee doesn't touch the ground. That's a touchdown. That should be a touchdown. See, I was wondering right there, but it doesn't. When you see the other angle, you can tell that knee is not down. He extends it, puts it on the goal line.
Which you can do, Jay. We've seen officials use a combination of looks. If you don't get the perfect look with one, you can anticipate what you see from one angle and put it on to another. Does that make sense?
Yep. I think that's what they should do in this case for the
After
touchdown.
review, the runner's knee did not touch the ground. Touchdown, Eastern Washington.
Like I always say, as long as they get it right.
The system works.
It can take as long as you need. These coaches and players work so hard with the game plan. You just want them to make the right call on the field. And if technology helps confirm what you missed, and this is right, and this is just a good hard run by Quincy Forte, keeping his legs turning. And that extra push from the lineman, number 78, Clay DeBoard, gets him in the end zone.
9-yard touchdown run. Forte's 9th rushing touchdown of the season, and the point after for Tyler McNanny is good. And I like the explanation from the referee, Henry Wimberg. He said his knee was not down. So kind of gives everybody an idea what they were looking at, and it's a touchdown for Forte.
Yep, and it's the right thing, but what about Eastern Washington? Is that typical of them? I mean, 3rd and 1, and this offense they have, it puts so much pressure on the defense because of the threat of the long ball. I mean, so often when you're going sideline to sideline, you just keep everything in front of you and make a tackle. Well, versus Eastern Washington, they're trying to figure out ways to get wide receivers behind you, kind of like the CFL offense has, where you must defend the whole field. And Bo Baldwin not afraid to take chances. 3rd and 1, going for the deep shot to Cooper Kupp. rewarded with the big play, and Forte caps it off for the touchdown. All of a sudden, the Eagles have cut this lead to 3.
Scoring with 3:12 left in the first quarter, so that's now 45 consecutive quarters that they've scored points in. 6-play drive, 69 yards. Took only 42 seconds to the 9-yard touchdown run for Quincy Forte. Taken from the goal line, Tevin Allen, 30. Runs by the kicker, 40. Out of bounds at the 45. Allen was a 95-yard touchdown kickoff return for touchdown against South Dakota State this year with a nice return.
Allen's a football player, the senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the starting free safety on defense, but showing his athleticism in the return game. Almost able to run through that tackle for a bigger game, but you have to play offense, defense, and special teams if you want to have success in the FCS playoff.
From their own 45, 3:03 left first quarter. Roberson throwing on first down to the sideline and stepping out of bounds at the 48. Rasheen Neblett.
Right when you want to start to question, some of the play selection, because you can fall in love watching Coppers run the football. Like, just give them the ball on first and second down. It'll make good things happen. But offensive coordinator Kurt Beathard, good job realizing he's got a quarterback that has a nice release, and there's a reason why their offense is so balanced, and the threat of a balanced offense really drives defenses crazy.
If that last name Beathard sounds familiar, yes, he is the son of NFL legendary GM Bobby Beathard, now retired. Roberson to the 46, stopped by Zach Johnson.
And that's why having an athletic quarterback is so important in today's college football. This play should be stopped for a loss. Mix up here, they've got 2 bodies there, able to pull it out of the stomach and pick up positive yards. It's a great job by Trey Roberson, and the athleticism on display on a play that won't do much in the statistical column, but it really does help your offense.
2 of 3 on third down today are the Redbirds. Third and short, 3rd and 2 from under center. Option keeps it, first down. It's a hard play to defend right there on the edge, and when you got Coppridge there.
Pick your poison.
Yes.
I mean, you want Coppridge to break one for you? Do you want to allow Roberson to pick up 3 or 4 yards needed for a first down? I mean, they really are a dynamic 1-2 punch in the backfield for Illinois State.
First down Redbirds at the 43 of the Eagles. 10-7. Illinois State leading late in this first quarter. In motion, Scott Kewen. And a handoff. Coppridge that time stopped for no gain. Ronnie Hamlin and number 47 Cody McCarthy on the tackle. McCarthy, a senior, 4-year player here for the Eagles. Big Sky honorable mention last year and this year. One of their leading tacklers coming in. Shaughnessy in motion. Roberson dumps it underneath. Coppridge upended and falls forward near the 36-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd and about 3. Micaiah Zamora, number 49, with the tackle.
That was a big tackle because Coppridge had built up speed and momentum. Zamora had to lay out on that tackle, tripped him up just enough to slow down Coppridge, stop him from picking up more yards.
Zamora paid the price. He limps off the field. 3rd down and 3. Roberson, first down catch at the 30. Cameron Meredith. You know, he came to the near side here and he made that throw, Jay. He released it really before Meredith had made his final cut.
He's got a nice quick release and he feels comfortable in the pocket. I think when we talked to all the coaches, they said they were surprised at how good a passer that Roberson was. And when you watch him in the warm-ups and on film, very, very quick release, able to get the ball to his receivers quickly.
Takes us to the end of the first quarter. Field goal and a touchdown gave it a early 10-0 lead to the Redbirds, but Forte's 9-yard run has made it a 3-point game at the end of one. Welcome back to the NCAA FCS Championship quarterfinal presented by Northwestern Mutual. Into the second quarter from Cheney, Washington. Illinois State leading Eastern Washington 10-7. Illinois State with a first down at the 29-yard line of the Eagles. Here's a throw. He has a man open. Complete. John Mark Anderson inside the 5. First and goal, Redbirds.
Great job on the zipper route. Just 3 verticals splitting. You see John Mark Anderson. He's running right up the hash mark. Good job of finding the zone and sticking the throw in there before the defense can get there.
26-yard gain. First and goal from the 3.
If you think Trey Roberson's just a runner, then you're missing the point. I mean, he is picking apart this defense with the passing game, going the right place with the football. And take a look at that. What was the key I said for Illinois State?
Ball control.
2-1. They're doubling up Eastern Washington right now.
Straight ahead, powering it into the end zone. They give it to the fullback, Brady Tibbetts.
Good job just pounding the ball in here. We're going to go with the little quick flip option. And Tibbetts is in the end zone for the score.
His first carry of the season gives him his first rushing touchdown of the season. So a bit of a surprise. They gave it to Tibbetts. He scores from 3 yards out, and the point after knocked through by Nick Ossaker.
A little deception. You have a running back that has, what, 22, now 23 touchdowns on the year, and a quarterback that has 8 touchdowns rushing, and you decide to go fullback.
So back to a 10-point lead for Illinois State. Eagles about to get the ball back. Let's take a look at their last drive when they finally found some points, and a lot of it thanks to Quincy Forte.
Yeah, Forte found some creases, and this was a big on 3rd and 1. Perfectly thrown ball to Cooper Kupp, and then Forte starting to feel it. Nice hop step, powers into the end zone.
Last drive for the Redbirds, 8 plays, 55 yards in a little under 4 minutes. And the first touchdown of the season for the fullback, sophomore Brady Tibbetts out of Mineral Point. Look at the roster for Illinois State. And no question, Jay, Brock Spack, you got a lot of Chicago area kids. I mean, it is a upper Midwestern dominated recruiting area.
And he said for this program to be successful, they must dominate the Chicago area. He said, I have a formula for that. He was the top recruiter at Purdue University for a number of years. And he said he was able to get Chicago kids to come to Purdue. Why not get them to come to Illinois State?
The first 3 times that Ossikers kicked off, they've kicked short to keep it out of the hands of Shaq Hill. So if you're one of the upmen, you got to think, I got a chance to make a return here. And that's going to be the case again. Taken at the 18-yard line. And fumbling, or keeping possession, but stumbling forward to the 35. That's Havili once again. That's the second time he's had a return today. So they are avoiding Shaq Hill at all costs. And gives Eastern pretty good starting field position at the 35.
That's a stash. That's, you know, it's Illinois State. I mean, Chicago, that's that bucket stash.
Oh, that's
right
a blue collar stash, baby. That's a young Mike Ditka right there.
That's a Ditka, that's a Buckus, that's an Illinois stash right there.
This year's Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year, Brock Spack, who told us, you know, it was like a playoff game every week in the Missouri Valley Conference, and since they sent 5 teams, I think he made a good statement there, an accurate one. We're going to run the jet sweep with Hill, and a whistle stops the play.
Full start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty, first down.
First time that 5 Missouri Valley Conference teams have reached the playoffs.
And I thought one of them was a little iffy. You know, I said it on the selection chart. I wasn't so sure about the resume for Indiana State getting in with 7-5 football team. I know the Missouri Valley is a great conference, but the team loses 4 games in conference and they get a chance to make it the postseason.
3 penalties, 25 yards now for Eastern Washington, and quarterback draw keeping Adams to the 34.
I will say this about the Missouri Valley. They are definitely making their claim where they are becoming the premier conference in FCS football. I think for years it was the CAA conference, but now the Missouri Valley with their physical brand of football, speed on the outside, strong interior linemen, starting to become one of the dominating conferences in FCS football.
Adams looking left, throws in that direction, a completed pass. Bourne still stayed in bounds. Slides down at the 46-yard line. First down, Eastern Washington. 18-yard gain.
Going back to Kendrick Bourne, give him an opportunity to make up for the fumble he had earlier. And you see Bourne has some shake there. Good job making Mike Banks miss and able to pick up some extra yards after the catch.
Right back to the line. Quick snap. Adams going to take it himself. Nope, still has the option. Was not beyond the line of scrimmage and just flips it out of bounds.
And that's where the quarterback leadership for Vernon Adams shows up. They wanted to take a deep shot downfield. Great job by the secondary of Illinois State. No one was open. Don't take an unnecessary hit. Don't force the ball downfield. Get rid of it, live to fight another day, bring it up 2nd and 10.
Winner of this game plays number 1 seed New Hampshire. North Dakota State. The winner today, they will face Sam Houston State. Of course, North Dakota State out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Quick pass, strike to Mitchell, Corey Mitchell. Out of bounds at about the 42. A weird quirk of the Valley schedule, though, this year, Jay. North Dakota State and Illinois State did not play each other.
They did not, and that's one of those things where we talked to coaches and said, well, wouldn't it be something if you all finally played each other in Frisco, Texas, to really battle it out? They shared the conference championship this year. But you have to call that a small victory for Illinois State because of the dominance that North Dakota State's had in that conference. You take a championship any way you can get it.
3rd down at 5. Adams, first down strike. Across the chains at the 34-yard line, finding Corey Mitchell, who turned 27 years old yesterday. He's the older brother, Bo Levi Mitchell.
The older brother.
Yes.
How old did he turn?
27 yesterday. There's a run. Jabari Wilson in the game. First carry for Jabari. He had a big game at Portland State. The coaches really took note of. Redshirt sophomore out of Carson, California, Jabari Wilson.
Eastern Washington running up-tempo offense right now. They feel they have Illinois State on the ropes.
And right back to Wilson. First down at the 21 before he's tripped up by Teddy Corwin.
You see Vernon Adams there. Keep it going, keep it going. They think they have the entire defensive line. They're trying to wear them out.
Wilson, that time wrapped up for only about a yard.
See, now this is where I say you have to get up and do the hurry-up offense again. Just because they stop you one play, you don't slow it down. They made a tackle. They used extra energy. Don't let them take their time getting up, because if you look at the defensive line for Illinois State, they have all their hands on their hip. They're tired. I would keep the up-tempo so it works more. Instead, you take your foot off the gas pedal, you give them 15 seconds worth of rest.
You do get Forte back into the game at running back. Plenty of time going to the end zone. Back in the end zone, broken up. Going for Cup. Tevin Allen got there. A little help late also from McCoy.
That was a fantastic play by Tevin Allen. How does Cooper Kupp manage to get behind the secondary over and over again? And Allen, great recovery, able to get a hand on the football, but you know that they're going to go deep with the football, but yet Kupp finds a way on a continual basis to get behind the secondary.
Third down and 9.
Timeout.
A timeout
Eastern Washington.
called by the Eagles.
Second timeout for the half.
So they have just
Immediate
one
timeout.
remaining. So we'll step aside with 11:18 to play in this first half from Cheney, Washington. It's a 10-point lead for Illinois State.
Details at goeats.com.
(17-7). Illinois State on top of Eastern Washington with 11:18 to play first half. 10th play of this drive coming up here for Eastern Washington. The drive began at their own 35. They face a 3rd and 9 from the 20 of Illinois State. Adams pressured, steps up, throws towards the end zone, broken up, almost intercepted by Pat Meehan, the middle linebacker.
And Vernon Adams is not particularly sharp today. This is a missed throw. Does a great job extending the play. But Wimberly is open. If he leads him out front, that's possibly a touchdown. Instead, allows Meehan to come back into the play and deflect the pass.
So a field goal attempt. Tyler McNanny is long this year, is 43 yards. This is a 37-yard attempt off the left hash and out of the hold of Connor Richardson. Good snap, ball down, kick is away, and it's plenty good. Eastern Washington has not missed a field goal attempt all season. As a team, they're now 12 for 12. So when Bo Baldwin decides to kick a field goal, it has been 100% successful, and that makes it a 7-point game. It looks like the fog is lifted here in Cheney, Washington. I don't know if the fog is completely lifted, though, from the Eagles' offense yet, though, Jay. Though they are able to cut this to a 7-point game, they just have really not seemed to find their rhythm. Yeah,
they've got 10 points, but they've missed some opportunities for touchdowns and keeping drives alive. They need to settle down, but give credit to Illinois State. Their defense has really stepped up and tried to disrupt the Eagle offensive attack.
Tevin Allen brought down at the 35-yard line. Well, the winner of this game will be facing the #1 seed, New Hampshire, either on the 19th or 20th next week. And North Dakota State, 3-time defending champ, has Sam Houston State coming to the Dome.
And I think for Eastern Washington, I've always thought that playing on the Inferno, one of the best home field advantages in postseason play. Going to New Hampshire will not be easy. I mean, can't think of a further geographical trip they would have to take. And going to New Hampshire, you know there will be some snow somewhere in that forecast.
You and I were here last year for the semifinal matchup when Towson came back late and beat the Eagles to end Eastern Washington's season. Here's a handoff, and there goes Coppridge before he's tackled just shy of midfield by Tevin McDonald. Man, he gets going in a hurry.
I mean, the ability to find the hole, great vision, one cut. See that cut, and then he's running north-south and almost able to run through the tackle. Tevin McDonald. But give credit to the offensive line for Illinois State. Fantastic job.
14-yard run a moment ago. He was up to 70 rushing yards. Once again, Coppridge pulled down at the 46, 47-yard line of the Eagles. He has 3 carries, though, today of 12 or more yards.
He's a special running back. Junior from Victorville, California. Getting an opportunity to play on the West Coast somewhat. Making the most of it. Tough to bring down and really runs hard. And credit his work in the weight room during this offseason. Added about 10 pounds. Gave him the ability to run through arm tackles.
In motion, Meredith here to the near side. Robertson kept it. And he's tackled at the 44-yard line. But Coppridge paid a price. He got hit hard. The crowd reacted to that. I'm not sure if the crowd thought that Coppridge actually had the ball and was tackled, or they just enjoyed the hit.
Well, they just decided to attack the ball carrier. If that's your assignment, that's who you're hitting. Good job of just coming off the edge. They called a run blitz. John was the outside linebacker, and they're on a hit.
Third down at 2. Got to watch the play clock. It's down to 4. They're going to have to use a timeout. Illinois State last week, the win over their Missouri Valley Conference brethren. Northern Iowa beat them 41-21.
And that was a rematch. That was a tough matchup. Northern Iowa was out of the same conference as Illinois State, and Northern Iowa beat them during the regular season.
Only loss of the year for the Redbirds.
And they were able to come back, so that wasn't an easy opening round game for the Redbirds, but give them credit for dominating that football game.
Illinois State, located in Normal, Illinois, founded in 1857, and enrollment about 20,000. Now that was their record last year, actually their 5th appearance in the FCS playoffs. That's what it is. It's their record in the postseason.
We talked about this and see if folks in the truck know. Famous alum from Illinois State. Who would it be? Who would it be? Tell you after this play. I wonder if anybody else has been doing their homework.
3rd down and 2. Coppridge. I don't think so. Only got about 1.
And if he's short, I think you go for it. I mean, you run the ball extremely well. You've got the ball across midfield. You have to go for it with a running back like Coppridge and a quarterback like Roberson, so athletic. You think on the road, if we can't pick up a yard, we're in trouble.
Redbirds 4 of 6 on 4th down this year, so 67%. 4th and 1 from under center, Roberson. Keeping. He's going to take off around the edge and have the first down. Down the sideline, out of bounds near the 30.
The legs have it. I mean, they were there for the play action. You can see they tried to sneak the fullback out into the flat. He was covered. Becomes a foot race to the outside between Zamora and Roberson, and he's able to get on the edge and pick up the first down and then some.
Stepped out at the 28, first down there for Illinois State.
Going back to Illinois State, famous alumnus?
Well, basketball-wise, you got Doug Collins.
Doug Collins. Jersey's retired there.
Roberson throwing on first down towards the end zone. Boy, that's going to be dropped at the goal line, but it'll be pass interference as Farmer, his defender, had him by the shirt tail and was not letting go. That was an easy pass interference call.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. Penalty will be half the distance from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Victor Gamboa called for the pass interference. You know, Farmer only has 3 catches this year. They targeted him here.
Yeah, what I like is the location of the throw. Rather than pull the tight end to the sideline, watch him throw it more upfield. He recognized the defensive back was underneath, anticipating the throw outside. He led him up the field, therefore giving his receiver an opportunity to make the catch, and 2, putting the defensive back in no man's land, helping get the penalty.
Joe Farmer, the tight end, the intended receiver. Farmer for Illinois State is actually a guy from the state of Washington. Snoqualmie, Washington, Mount Si High School. First down from the 13. Coppridge to the edge. Ronnie Hamlin got his arms on him and pulls him down. Boy, Ronnie Hamlin, he's a senior now. That trademark long hair, leading tackler once again. Had a punt block last week early in the game against Montana to help set the tone of that one.
People familiar with Big Sky football will wonder who has longer hair, Hamlin or Zach Wagenman from Montana. Wagenman's got some hair, and that's not a good sign for Illinois State.
Coppridge to the sideline will be looked at. Keeping. Roberson.
Did you see the difference there? Right away. I mean, Coppridge leaves the game. You're used to getting the running back at a certain speed on that read option. In this play here, the timing was never quite right. They go to the backup, Lewis, and the timing wasn't there, disrupting the whole play.
Looking at the left ankle, left foot. Maybe they're just taping that part up or going to get a look. 3rd down and 4. So they can get a first down without scoring. And back is Towns, by the way, Jamal Towns.
Throw it, let Roberson create.
Looking toward Meredith, goes to his side.
Wow. Are you kidding
Touchdown.
me?
Boy, he made it look so easy. Cameron Meredith with his 9th touchdown grab of the season.
This looks like Chris Carter, one of my old teammates. Is this a one-handed grab with the defensive back draped over him? Watch him reach out with the left hand.
Wow.
Secure the ball. Those are hands. I mean, look at this. Never touches it with his right hand. Makes the catch.
Got both feet in.
That's a big-time catch.
Cameron Meredith. And Illinois State, without Copperidge at the end of that drive, find the end zone. And the point after makes it a 24-10 game. Well, maybe a Sports Center top 10 highlight with this catch by Cameron Meredith. 6.5 minutes still to play first half. It's a 2-touchdown lead for the Redbirds. Eight-play drive, 66 yards in 4.5 minutes, and Illinois State has scored on every one of their possessions so far today. They lead it by 14. Let's take a look at the 7-yard touchdown catch for Cameron Meredith and a Sports Center top 10 nominee. Boy, that's as good a candidate as you'll see.
You see how the right arm just stays completely still. He was using that to shield the defender off. And this is just all great hands and concentration. A la Chris Carter.
And then he does a nice little flip of the ball, saying, yeah, had it all the way.
That's why he gets style points, because he made it look so easy, like, oh, no big deal. That was a sweet catch.
Well, the Eagles defense came in averaging 29 points allowed per game. They've given up 24 already, and on the 4 possessions for the Redbirds, 3 TDs and 1 field goal. So they haven't been stopped yet. But Hill comes up to take this one at the 19 and advances all the way to the 43. So we finally see him adjust a little bit to those short kickoffs, and Hill does get a chance as he came up to field that one at the 19.
I was worried because they kept having the up men field the short kickoffs. That's a recipe for disaster, having them continue to run the football. So I like the adjustments. Sneak Shaq Hill up a little bit closer, and you see what he can do when he gets the football in his hands.
Well, no question, Jay, the onus right now on the Eagles offense and Vernon Adams to put together a good drive here.
And that's a smart game plan. If you're Illinois State, they've got an offense that's dreaded. Put a little pressure on their offense and make them score, and make them have to score playing from behind.
Forte for about 4 to the 46. Stopped by defensive end David Perkins. Well, Montana last week really got in the face, or at least tried to, of Vernon Adams.
I mean, Montana's got Zach Wagner, who got a chance to win the Buchanan Award, which is the outstanding defensive player. Able to force him out of the pocket, but Adams, he has the ability to extend plays, but you don't want to do that on a continual basis. And their front 4 from Montana able to get him out of the pocket.
Here comes the blitz, the pressure, but he finds Shaq Hill. Close to a first down up to the 48. Tackled again by Perkins. But the pressure was on. They came right up the middle at Adams.
Yeah, that will have Illinois State stop blitzing. Because if you're going to blitz and they call a screen pass, they almost gashed him for a big play. That'll earn your respect. So I wouldn't look for Illinois State to go back to that blitz too often.
3rd and 1 from the eye. Play fake, and Adams incomplete, and a late flag. Well, Jake Withnell, the tight end, was the intended receiver, and Banks was the one covering. And the contact before the ball got there brings out the flag.
And I think it's not pass interference. It should be holding.
Holding, okay.
Because the ball wasn't necessarily
Pass
catchable.
interference. Defense, number 24. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
And Adams is almost just throwing it up there high. There's contact. The ball's downfield a ways. I think it's more of a defensive holding than it is a pass interference. But either way, it's going to be a first down for Eastern Washington.
On the 35 of Illinois State. Adams pump fakes. Now he's got his man wide open into the end zone, waiting on it. Touchdown. Cooper Kupp. His 15th touchdown catch. There is a flag down back at the 40. So hold on a moment.
Holding. Offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Right tackle Jake Rogers, who really is one of their better pass blockers, called for the hold.
There'll be some matchup problems on the edges. David Perkins and Teddy Corwin are two really good defensive ends for Illinois State. In this case here, it's...
I don't see much there.
Anytime you have a defensive lineman turn his back to the offensive lineman, pretty tough to get called for that. But once again, how does Cooper Kupp
I'm going to ask you that.
manage to get behind the secondary? Double moves. They do a lot of double moves in the secondary, and they know that Vernon Adams can escape enough to give him time to develop.
Well, that call for now cost him a touchdown. It's 1st and 20. Catch made by Kendrick Bourne.
You see the pump fake there, and once you fall for the pump fake, that's how you get 6-7 yard separation from the defensive back.
2nd down and 10. Quick throw to Kupp here on the sideline. Pushed out at the 27 by Alex Donnelly.
And I will say this about Illinois State and their game plan. One thing I've noticed about Eastern Washington, they get frustrated if they're not throwing the ball downfield. So that last completion, most offenses would love that. 5-6 yards and no threat of an interception. For Eastern Washington, if they're not throwing the ball downfield, they're frustrated.
2 of 5 on 3rd down at 3rd and 1 and a flag. See if a 3rd and 1 turns into a 3rd and 6 or a first down here.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Aaron Neary, left guard, one of their better run blockers. Moved early. 6 penalties, 55 yards against the Eagles, and it's a 3rd and 6. They bunch 3 receivers at the top. Handed off though, and Forte stopped short at the 27-yard line. Dante McCoy.
When they decide to call that play, they'll let you know it's 4-down territory for them. If you're going to call the run play and not put it in Vernon Adams' hands on 3rd down, you must be thinking ahead of time that you're going to go for it on 4th down.
18 of 28 on 4th down this year, 64%. This will be the first 4th down attempt for them today.
Don't be surprised if Eastern Washington decides to go up top. This is a very aggressive offense.
Adams, short pass. Kupp caught it. It will have the first down. Well, I don't think that's how you exactly draw it up, but it is going to move the chains for Eastern Washington.
Wow, great concentration. This is a run-pass option all the way. He's going to run it. Defender comes up, tips the ball, and Cup does a great job coming back, readjusting, and making the grab.
Alex Donnelly is the one who tipped it for Illinois State, but Cup with the concentration, and I think they're going to call a timeout here. Illinois State.
Illinois State.
They use their first.
Second timeout for the half. 30-second timeout.
So they're going to have one left, that being their second, with 3:04 remaining in this first half.
Good look there at Bo Baldwin about the job that he's done here at Eastern Washington, and I know the fans here will be happy to know he is not going to Montana. There was some speculation out there that he would go to Montana, and he was pretty clear saying he's not leaving Eastern to go to another FCS program.
Well, the 2014 NCAA Division I Football Championship continues next weekend with semifinal action on December 19th and 20th. Both games will be on the Watch ESPN app. For more information, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships.
And you see Coach Brock's back on the other sideline. He said he's not leaving to go to a Big Ten school yet. I was reading some things. He said he wouldn't leave now, but he said Big Ten, that's the home where he's from. He said he thinks the people would understand if that opportunity would arise, but he's doing a great job in the program.
Forte to the 20, he picks up about 3. But Paul Chryst coming back to Wisconsin after Anderson left after just a couple of years.
You can always go home, right?
Yeah. Second down at 7. Important drive here for the Eagles with time winding down in this first half. Down by 2 touchdowns. Adams, Hill, inside the 10, 1st and goal. Tackled by Teddy Corwin. 11-yard gain.
They really make you defend the whole field. I mean, the threat of going downfield, then wide receiver screen, and Shaq Hill is a tremendous athlete in open space with Jake Rogers, a right tackle, coming out to serve as a lead blocker. Very, very exciting offense, aggressively schemed.
Forte straight ahead inside the 5 near the goal line. Just short. Dave Perkins, Teddy Corwin evidently keep him out, but not by much.
They're finding those creases on the inside. Great job by Jace Budarak, the center, number 59, sealing the middle of the field. And I think in this case he is just a little bit short this time.
Second down and goal, play clock at 10. Give again, Forte, but that's bottled up. I say that, but with some extra effort, nearly got in again. Braden Prate, defensive tackle with the stop. There's Mike Banks again.
Good second effort by Forte. Seems as if he's going to be stopped maybe a yard or 2 short. Watch the spin. So he's 2 yards short, but watch the spin. Not able to finish off the tackle, and he almost gets that ball into the end zone.
11th play of the drive. Remember, a holding call kept a touchdown pass off the board on this drive. Go power with the fullback. Hand it off. Jabari Wilson into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. Well, they brought the tight end Wimberly into the backfield as a fullback, and Wilson with his 5th rushing touchdown.
And they say he's been a pleasant surprise, his ability to run hard nose, starting to create a niche as a red zone runner. But that's something you reserve for the running backs that hit the holes a little harder than typical running back and protect the football.
Tyler McNanny, point after out of the hole to counter Richardson. And he snuck that in the right uprights to make it a 7-point game. But they needed a touchdown, Jay, the Eagles. Thought they had one, was taken off the board, but do wind up scoring 7 on that drive.
And that's what a good team's going to do. Not allow the setback to stop the drive, stop them from putting points on the board. And once again, #1 offense in the country does a good job of answering the call when called upon.
Well, coming up at the half, the end of an era. We'll tell you more about that. Also, the FCS bracket update. After this game ends, there'll just be 4 teams remaining in the FCS playoff race. And highlights and stats from the first half here in Cheney. 11-play drive for the Eagles, 57 yards, just under 6 minutes. And a 1-yard touchdown run for Wilson capped it off.
How'd the Bison do in the playoffs this year?
Talking about North Dakota State?
No, my Bison, man.
Oh, Howard?
University. I tried to sneak it by you.
I don't think they were in the FCS postseason this year.
It's been a while.
Short taken by the up man at the 25. It's Patrick Doherty, who's a defensive end, getting a chance to return a kickoff, but only 32 seconds left in this first half.
Be interesting to see if Coppers comes out for this series, or they're going to take him into the locker room and get him ready. We know he left that last drive with his ankle, looked like it was being taped up.
No Coppridge. It's Jamal Towns who comes out.
You have a 7-point lead. This is the postseason. You're on the road. Do not get aggressive at the play calling here.
Robertson throws a little behind the intended receiver at the 47-yard line. Cam Meredith.
Very surprised that they're coming out throwing the football. I know they have tremendous confidence in Robertson, but so many bad things can go wrong. Pressure on the quarterback, a strip ball on a sack, a tip ball for an interception. I think you enjoy being on the road going into halftime up by 7.
But the question for Illinois State when we get to the second half is going to be the availability of Marshawn Coppridge. Will he come back? It looked like he was having his left leg looked at. This is Towns who gets the carry to the 38, tackled by Hamlin. And they can just let it run down here if they so choose.
I think they realize the situation where they are. You know, great first half of football. Anytime you go into halftime leading, it's a good first half.
There's Coppridge, number 25, on his own heading towards the locker room. So we'll see if he's able to come back.
He looks hobbled.
Yes, he did not look good running off the field there. Illinois State had as large as a 14-point lead, and they lead it by 7 here at the intermission. Coppridge had 79 rushing yards in that first half. Will he be back for the second half? 24-17 at the intermission. We welcome you back to Roos Field in Cheney, Washington. This FCS quarterfinal matchup at the half between Illinois State and Eastern Washington. Well, on December 2nd, UAB President Ray Watts announced the termination of the UAB football program, citing financial difficulties to sustain the football program into the future. Phil Bennett reports on how the community, coaches, players, and students are reeling from this decision to extinguish the Blazers.
We have made the decision that the 2014-15 academic year will be our final year of competition in football, rifle, and bowling. We've just come from meeting with our coaches and students and sharing this information with them. As you might imagine, a great deal of passion and emotion was exhibited.
I have a wife, a 3-year-old son. My son asked me last night, Daddy, what are they going to do with the program? And you telling me because the numbers didn't look right? It's 18-year-olds in here, 17-year-olds. What are they supposed to do?
UAB President Ray Watts helped pull the financial plug on football, saying the school could no longer sustain the cost of the program. Rumors had become reality, and reality became rage.
This guy had 3 surgeries last year. I can't tell you how many surgeries this people have gone through, man. To play for this team, to put on these colors, to put this envelope and represent college football.
It was beyond tough. I mean, these are guys that are your family, and, you know, it's really hard to put into words, really.
It isn't hard to put into words for Birmingham businessman Don Heyer, who has donated millions of dollars to UAB and vows to withhold millions because of the decision to end football.
I've never been more ashamed, more embarrassed in my whole life of a group of administrative people who had the ability to do something better than what we did that day. I feel so sorry for those players.
It was unreal just to see so many grown men break down and cry, and to see his reaction or lack of reaction, it turned your stomach. It almost made you wonder, you know if you really cared.
If I had that to do over again, I would give anything to have the opportunity to really share heart to heart what this means to both of us and share our disappointment to one another.
3 days before the program was eliminated, the Blazers beat Southern Miss for their 6th win, tripling its total of a season ago.
I'm thinking, like, if we win this game, we can save our program. We can go to a bowl game. We can put our school on the map.
4 weeks ago, we'd kind of, had an idea that this might happen. I thought up to the last second that we could save it.
Watts says the program would have required a $49 million infusion during the next 5 years.
Nobody has come forward with a firm commitment of any additional resources. And we've asked, and if the checks were in the bank, it would be one thing. We cannot lead this university on promises.
But critics say Watts didn't consult with the school's biggest supporters.
Can you imagine making a decision to kill a program, yet you don't talk to your top donors, you don't talk to former players, you don't talk to the alumni, you don't talk to the city? How much data really went into this decision?
In my particular case, and I went and asked, and I was never given the opportunity to say I would contribute or not contribute.
Would you have?
I sure would have.
Since the announcement, Watts has been the subject of artistic expression and protest rallies.
UAB, so set us free. I love my UAB.
If Dr. Watts were sitting where I'm sitting, what would you guys say to him?
Stand up, do what's right. You know what's right. Fix this.
For UAB coaches and players, all that remains is the slim hope of a bowl invitation.
In my heart, I still think we can fix this program, and maybe that bowl game can help. Maybe everybody in the world seeing UAB play one more time.
Give us a chance.
Will give us another chance.
Just one more time being able to play, that'd be my Christmas.
ESPN's Phil Bennett. It is halftime here in Cheney, Washington at this FCS quarterfinal matchup between the Redbirds and Eagles, and we'll have more after the break. Halftime here in Cheney, Washington. Illinois State, the 5 seed, leading the 4 seed Eastern Washington 24-17. Well, the winner of this game will be facing New Hampshire in New England, either on December 19th or 20th. And North Dakota State, the 3-time defending champion, will face Sam Houston State either the 19th or the 20th here on the ESPN networks. Well, let's first discuss the fact that Eastern Washington or Illinois State will have to go to New England next weekend to play a very tough team.
They're a very tough team, and New Hampshire is gritty. The champions of the CAA conference did a fantastic job defending their home turf, took on a very game Chattanooga squad with their quarterback Jacob Huseman, not the Heisman, but the Huseman. They came up a little bit short, and offensively they've got some firepower. That's what surprises folks there. Look at that, Sam Houston State versus North Dakota State. You know how many times they've played in the postseason just in the last 5 years? I think out of the 3 championship runs North Dakota State has had, 2 of them they beat Sam Houston State in the championship game. And I know the Bobcats are saying, one more time we have to take on the Bison of North Dakota State.
Able to get by Villanova today by 3. John Robertson, the starting quarterback for Villanova, did not play in that game due to concussive symptoms, and that leads us into the Peyton Award. Of course, John Robertson is on that list, as is Vernon Adams and Justin Arias at Idaho State.
Arias, fantastic job throwing the football, record-breaking season. That's why he's on the list. Idaho State didn't perform well to get to the postseason. I think that may hamper his chances. John Robertson played well particularly on the biggest stages. I think if you look at Vernon Adams and John Robertson, their best games were played on the biggest stage. Robertson had a showcase game versus Syracuse to start the season. Vernon Adams' marquee performance versus University of Washington in a losing effort. But Adams missed 4 games, and that could hamper what happens. Some people may say you have to play a full season, but I think his numbers are strong enough to do it. And also on that list, who's not on that list, came in 5th for the Peyton Award.
Who was that?
Marshawn Coppridge.
Wow.
Finished in 5th. And number 4 was Vlad Lee, quarterback from James Madison, transfer from Georgia Tech.
Well, the FCS Awards given out Monday in Philadelphia at the award banquet. They'll also give out the Buchanan, the Rice Award, Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year, and, of course, the Peyton Award. Here at the half from Cheney, Washington, 24-17. The Redbirds lead the Eagles. We'll be back with more after this. Okay. Hey, can you give me the sheet?
Can I hold it like this?
Of course, you may.
I've seen folks do that before. You ever seen somebody hold a mic like this?
Like that?
Yeah,
No,
I've seen. Think it was smooth? This thing just popped out.
Comment before we get to the highlights?
You hearing anything talking?
Not talking, but I can hear myself.
I can't.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, can I get a comment from him before we get to highlights? Do we have time for that? Okay. What do you want me to set you up on?
What do you expect in the second half? Huh?
Okay. Oh, I can hit you with that at the end.
Okay. It's on you. I'll go with you, Smooth. Whatever you say, go. Just keep in mind, it's going to pop out of my ear the moment I start talking. So.
Okay. Yeah, we're throwing a break at us.
Can you talk to me? Ask him. Can you talk to me?
Halftime here in Cheney, Washington. Illinois State on the road, leading Eastern Washington by a score of 24-17. The fog has lifted here in Cheney. That's the good news, along with former NFL quarterback Jay Walker, Mark Neely. Illinois State really set the tone for this game. They scored on their first 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns and a field goal, and until Coppridge went out with the injury, seemed to be like they were doing what they wanted offensively.
Yeah, and they followed the game plan that you have to have a winning formula versus an explosive Eastern Washington offense. They were long, meticulous drives down the field, weren't relying upon the big play. They ran the football. Really impressed with the way Trey Roberson threw the football, which is going to be a threat, and I hope they can continue that in the second half.
Let's take a look at the first half stats and first half highlights from here in Cheney, Washington. And we see Roberson giving it to Coppridge. That was a key combination early.
And Coppridge showed that when he's on the field, they're going to have trouble tackling him. One of the best players on the field, but Quincy Forte did a good job of matching the running ability, the tough running in between the tackles for the score.
Then how about Tibbetts?
Who?
Brady Tibbetts, the fullback, his first carry of the year, 3-yard touchdown run, made it 17-7. And then Roberson, well, how about this catch? Outstanding. Meredith, one-handed.
One of the best catches that you'll see, one-handed away from it, and then going to finish it off. They go with the power back.
Jabari Wilson from 1 yard out, made it 24-17. You see the rushing yards in favor of the Redbirds. Passing yards slanted towards Vernon Adams and Eastern Washington. And Adams seemed to start coming on with that passing game as the half went on.
Yeah, clearly not his best half of football, but we know this is an explosive offense. They like to throw the ball down the field, look for Vernon Adams to really kick it in gear in the second half. That's what they're known for.
What else do you expect in the second half? Coppridge obviously is going to be a key, whether he can play or not.
I believe that you're going to have to force Trey Roberson to beat you right now. If you're Eastern Washington, you're going to say, hey, we're not going to respect the run. We're going to force you to throw the football and work on your pass secondary. I think on the flip side, if you're Illinois State, you have to say, okay, we held Vernon Adams in check. Can we continue to do that? But they must come up with a way to stop the deep routes from Copper Cup. How does he continue to get behind the secondary, look for them to play more off coverage, and force Eastern Washington to drive down the field in long drives compared to the big play explosives they like.
You saw Coppridge, right, when he came off the field. We'll see if he comes back here for half number 2. The second half, Illinois State will get the football 24-17 here at the intermission. Welcome back to the NCAA FCS Championship quarterfinal presented by Northwestern Mutual. Ready to start the second half. Will indeed Coppridge be ready to go for Illinois State? 24-17, Redbirds have the lead. They'll get the ball to begin the second half. Really the difference in the first half, the 7 points off turnover for the Redbirds. Remember, after the only turnover of the half early in the first quarter committed by Eastern Washington, and the Redbirds turn that into 7, and that's the difference.
Turnovers are magnified in the postseason, and a good team will make you pay when you turn the football over. But you have a feeling with the intensity level that we saw on display towards the end of the first half, there'll be other turnovers. Just become a matter of which way the ball's going to bounce.
Jake Miller, a senior out of Spokane, to kick it off. And here we go into half number 2. Taking it to 2 by Neblett. Neblett at the 20, falls forward to the 25-yard line. Now, Illinois State, their first 4 possessions all came up with points. Field goal, 3 touchdowns. Then the half ran out on them, but offensively pretty much did what they wanted to.
I mean, 4 drives of 50-plus yards. That's getting it done offensively down on the field. And they really were able to do that because they established control of the line of scrimmage and good hard running by Marshawn Coppridge. And good sign to see him coming out to start the second half.
79 yards rushing and a touchdown in half number 1. Send in motion, Neblett. Roberson hands it off to Coppridge. So right away we get a chance to see the health of Coppridge, and that's only going to go for about a yard. Not much there.
Good job stacking the line of scrimmage, and there actually saw the defensive line for Eastern Washington stunt to that side of the field. So maybe that's going to be one of the changes that they make here in the second half. Start shifting off the defensive line more, try to take advantage of their speed on the defensive line.
Roberson across the middle, a strike to the 30-yard line, and advancing for the first down all the way up to the 39 is James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. They finally get him in the mix. He was their 3rd leading catcher this year with 23 grabs. There's number 24 and a 13-yard pickup.
The big target, 6'4", 245 pounds. The senior has nice hands, averages 19 yards per catch, so it's a good thing to get him involved in their offense.
In the game here 2 years ago, O'Shaughnessy had 3 catches for 63 yards in their quarterfinal loss. Coppridge finds a hole to midfield where he's met there. And with the spot, should have the first down. Tackled by Todd Raines.
He doesn't seem like the same Coppridge we saw in the first half. Look at him. He's running by vision, not really able to explode and running from contact. Something just not quite right in his running style here in the second half. Maybe it'll loosen up for him, but doesn't seem like he has the ability to cut and change directions like he did when he started this football game.
I'm going to use your term, partner. I don't see the wiggle, at least the good wiggle.
Yeah, the wiggle's not there, which made him special in the first half.
Roberson goes to the far side, and the catch at the 43-yard line by Meredith. And with the lunge forward, he's going to be close to the first down. Stopped by McCarthy and Rashad Wadu.
Did you see the hands? I mean, these are good hands. Watch Meredith snatch this ball off the ground. He's catching everything with his hands. Ball was thrown low. He's going down to get it with his hands, not trying to body it. We saw the fantastic catch in the first half, and I've seen enough to say he just has a nice set of mitts.
Guy who was a former quarterback. That is Wadu, quarterback for Eastern Washington, who's being attended to. So while they attend to Wadu, will step aside with 13:11 to play in this third quarter. Eagles cornerback Rashad Wadu being helped off the field. He took some friendly fire from linebacker Cody McCarthy. His own guy really got him here at the end. He's wrapping up McCarthy, or I should say wrapping up Meredith, and then here comes McCarthy. And I think that was the issue for Wadu.
Yeah, helmet on helmet collision. Wadu appears to be a concussion. Let's hope it's not the case, but
he has a brother who's playing at UCLA. You know the family. Played with what, an uncle?
Wadu went to Fairfax High School, part of the Lope squad.
A strike to the 35-yard line and a first down for James O'Shaughnessy. So they go back to the tight end after he did not have a catch in the first half. He has 2 on this drive. That goes for 11 yards.
And think about it. What do we say? We saw the graphic. 4 drives, 55+ yards. Not only these yards, but this is taking time off the clock. And they're continuing to put Eastern Washington's offense in a position where they must score in order to stay in the football game. Ball control, the key for Illinois State.
Coppridge for a couple up to the 27-yard line.
He is not the same runner we saw in the first half. Gutsy performance, but you can tell he's out there on a leg and a half or maybe a bad ankle. I think this is the case where you start relying more on Roberson. They say the offense goes as far as Roberson takes them. Well, to keep your season alive, you're going to need Trey Roberson, your quarterback, the transfer from Indiana, to make some good decisions with the football.
He's 3 of 3 on this drive, through the air for 33 yards. Looks to tack on, goes to the end zone. Did he get the foot down? No. That's Meredith. Well, you throw it in Meredith's direction, he's going to catch it, but he drifted just out of bounds. He had a step or so on the cornerback, Jake Hoffman.
Yeah, tough throw here. This is a post corner thrown from the far left hash. You've got to get it there in a hurry. Knows he had one-on-one coverage. Meredith just outside. Good call by the official.
Trey thought he had it. Instead, it's a third down now, a 3rd and 7 from the 27 of Eastern Washington on this, the first possession of the second half. Here comes the blitz. He dumps off the screen pass. Coppridge to the edge, turns upfield, out of bounds, shy of the first down by about a yard. Run out by Micaiah Zamora.
Good job by Zamora running him out, keeping him just a yard short, and that's a difference. First half he picks that up and then some, but he's out there with just a gutsy performance right now from Coppridge.
Looks like they're going for it here, Jay. You not surprised them? Or are you surprised?
Get a yard. When you're a team that runs the football as effectively as they do, and they've got an offensive line that's done a pretty good job on the line of scrimmage, you go for it.
They converted a 4th down earlier. Give it to Coppridge, and he has it and more. 15, 10, 5, and into the end zone. There's the first half. Marshawn Coppridge.
That's just great vision by Coppridge there. Physically not able to do it, but a good job of physically realizing where the hole is. Nice cut. Makes another cut there off the left ankle, and then just able to avoid the tackle by Todd Raines to get to the end zone. And what a statement by the Redbirds here to start off the second half.
Well, on 4th and 1, and Coppridge finds the end zone. That just hooked in that left upright, and the extra point is good. Well, Coppridge, with that Illinois State offense, has made it a 31-17 game in favor of the Redbirds. 115 yards rushing, 2 TDs for Coppridge. '21. Well, Redbirds head coach Brock Spack elected to go for it on 4th and 1. And it pays off. Coppers 21-yard touchdown run. 7-play drive, 75 yards on the first possession of the second half. And Coppers looked more like himself when he smelled the end zone there, Jay.
Relying on his vision, but the great ones find a way to get the ball across the goal line. And Illinois State said, we just did what we do, Vernon Adams. Now it's your turn. Continuing to put pressure, forcing Eastern Washington into must-score situations.
Really short, taken at the 34. And all the way across midfield, Zamora. You know, those short kicks are starting to bite Illinois State in the backside.
Yeah. Eastern Washington is fortunate, I believe. I mean, Zamora's a linebacker. So you've got a linebacker avoiding hits and contact and holding on to the football. Give him credit, but I just don't think that's the way you want to do it. That's living dangerously. Sooner or later, Illinois State's going to figure it out and try and strip one of those up men with the ball.
Well, the ball back in the court of Vernon Adams Jr. His first crack at things offensively here in the second half, and great starting field position from the 48 of the Redbirds. Hands it off to Forte. Forte finds the edge. 35-30 down the sideline. Inside the 20. Run down by Dante McCoy, the safety, but Forte will have a first down at the 18.
Look at the perimeter blocking. You see 59 and 66. Thomas Gomez in the center. Jace Budarak get on the edge, solidify the perimeter. That's a wide open running lane to the outside for Quincy Forte.
Well, what was the best starting field position for the Eagles gets even better after the 29-yard run, and just like that, a first down at the 18. Forte to the 16 for 2 yards. Tackled by defensive end David Perkins, the Ohio State transfer. Well, let's not forget about Quincy Forte, huh? Putting up some nice numbers here today as well.
And Forte doesn't get the number of carries that Coppers normally gets. They do running back by committee here, but he's an effective runner. He averages over 6.5 yards per carry also.
To the outside and out of bounds at the 12 after the catch for Kendrick Bourne, the sophomore out of Portland, Oregon. Third down here, a 3rd and about 4.
Talk about a prolific offense. Eastern Washington has been in the red zone 54 times this year. 42 times they walk away with touchdowns. That's an extremely high percentage.
It's 78%. They've scored on 94% of their red zone trips overall.
Comes pressure.
And Adams sacked back at the 19-yard line by Pat Meehan. 3rd sack of the year for the junior from Frankfort, Illinois.
You see it coming. They're not going to disguise it. They've got number 33, Meehan, the middle linebacker. Then on the left side of your screen, you're going to see Perkins takes an inside stunt. They bring the outside linebacker as well. Overload one side, Meehan shoots right up the gap for the sack. That's one that's on the quarterback, Adams. He didn't see that coming. He thought he had protection. He did not.
37-yard attempts for Tyler McNanny. Gets that one just inside the right upright. He stays perfect, as do the Eagles in field goal attempts this year. He's now 11 for 11, and the team 13 for 13 in field goal kicking. Snuck this one in that right upright. So they settle for 3. What officially will be a 36-yard field goal with 9:01 to play third quarter, an 11-point game. McNanny, a transfer, actually went to Weber State and Washington State. There's a number of Washington State transfers on this Eastern Washington roster.
Geography. Schools aren't that far apart.
That's part of it.
Hour and 20 minutes apart, maybe.
Yeah, Pullman not too far away, and they need a change of scenery and head down to the FCS level. And Will Baldwin, his program has become a good landing point for those kids.
And they've had success with some of their transfers. Bo Levi Mitchell, who won the Peyton Award here, he was a transfer from SMU. I think they had another quarterback, Padron, I think his last name was.
Kyle Padron.
He's a transfer as well.
SMU.
Success, so if you have a program that can make it work, then why not?
Well, they do get the field goal, Jay, as here's from the 5-yard line, Neblett to the 20, 25 brought down there. But if you're Eastern Washington, you can't trade field goals, touchdowns for field goals.
No, I think more importantly, if you're Eastern Washington, you have to make a defensive stop.
Right.
They're yet to do it this game. It's time to leave your comfort zone. They don't like to bring a lot of pressure. They play base vanilla coverage, but I think in order to try and create a turnover, create a stop, they're going to have to start bringing those linebackers, start looking for guys like Zamora, the number 49, the outside linebacker, or number 47, McCarthy, closer to the line of scrimmage and put them in a position where they can create a turnover for you.
Coppridge 115 yards rushing. He's going to get the first carry of this drive. Not much, maybe a half yard. Coppridge, though, with the 115 yards rushing, he has gone over 100 yards rushing in every game this season.
Here's the adjustment. Number 7 coming from the right side of your screen. That's Tevin McDonald, the free safety, bringing him closer to the line of scrimmage, not allowing Illinois State to have the advantage running the football by schematics. So we're starting to see the adjustments being made, a little sense of urgency from defensive coordinator John Graham.
In motion, O'Shaughnessy. Roberson going deep. And he overthrew badly the intended receiver. Neblett may also have been going for John Mark Anderson. If it was him, he really overthrew him. But took a pretty good pop delivering this football.
A little confusing. It looks a little bit not in the base coverage. Great job of pursuit by Dylan Zillistra. That's what you have to do. Get to the quarterback, make him feel it.
3rd and 10. Eastern Washington's defense trying to stop Illinois State really for the first time, with the exception of the final drive of the half. Roberson can use his legs, but he'll throw, and inbounds, yes. Scott Kewen with the catch and a first down at the 40.
A little bit of a Vernon Adams-like play here, just trying to extend the play. This becomes a scramble situation. Come back to your quarterback, make the catch. Scott Kewen, good job. That's what you do, just come back to the quarterback.
7th catch of the year for Scott Kewen, a senior from the Chicago area, Aurora, Illinois. Roberson hands it off this time to Towns. Towns for a couple off the left side to the 42.
Tackle made by number 4, Todd Raines, the strong safety. They're bringing the safeties up close to the line of scrimmage in obvious run situations. So the rushing yards are going to be tough to come by. And like I mentioned earlier, I believe Trey Roberson is going to have to make some decisions throwing the football as well as in the running game when the call is own number.
Meredith is top receiver at the top of your screen. Coppridge back in there. He's going to block for Roberson, who's kicking it wide, and then he's brought down at the 42. Well, he gave some ground on that. Winds up only getting a +1 on the carry. Dylan Zilstra with the tackle, number 57.
They tried to spread them out, but they weren't budging. They're saying, we're not going to let you run the football. They try and use Coppridge as a lead blocker. In this case here, Roberson should have just taken whatever positive yards he could have gotten. Instead, once again, 3rd and long situation.
6 of 9 on 3rd down. 3rd and 7. On their own 43. Roberson finds his man. Meredith first down to the 45 of Eastern Washington. Tackled by Raines, but again, there's Meredith with another big catch at 12.
Double slant combination. You want to hit the second guy, that's the clear out route. Good job by number 6, John Mark Anderson. Running into coverage, you call that slot receiver run to be covered. You want 2 defenders to guard you One-on-one on the outside, their best receiver, Meredith, versus a cornerback playing inside, outside technique. That's like stealing. That throw and catch is something they do easily.
6 catches for 50 yards now for Cameron Meredith. Coppridge straight ahead for a yard and a half or so. Well, I tell you, Cameron Meredith, I know this was the Roberson Coppridge show coming in, and I expected them to play well, and they have, but Cameron Meredith's the guy that's really stuck out for me. I mean, what hands.
He's got everything thrown his direction. We've seen him with the one-handed grab. We've seen him go down and catch a ball. We've seen him run nice routes. At 6'3", 200 pounds, he's got a nice frame and a nice set of hands.
Motion Neblett. Give Coppridge. Gets through the crease. May go inside the 15. Gang tackled at the 6. Jake Hoffman and Victor Gamboa eventually able to catch him, but it'll be 1st and goal.
How did he see this hole? Not much there, but great patience. The hop step, let the hole develop. He knows his offensive line is going to finish off the blocks, and he explodes through. Great vision on display by Marshawn Coppridge.
36-yard gain. He goes to the sideline to get a little breather. 1st and goal from the 7 for the Redbirds. The give to the back, Towns. Inside the 5. A little late pushing away from the ball, and there's a Eastern Washington player down. It's Victor Gamboa, the cornerback.
We saw Rashad Wadu leave the game earlier, so this may be a situation where Eastern Washington has 2 backup cornerbacks on the field.
And Gamboa, one of the starters, looking better as he trots off the field under his own power, but has to come out for at least to play as the officials stop the clock.
Gamboa's been a great find for them, freshman from Tacoma, Washington. So Gamboa goes out. They bring in Jake Hoffman, another freshman, this one from Spokane, Washington, number 17.
2nd and goal from the 2. Coppridge back in. Roberson hands off to Coppridge, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Illinois State. 3rd touchdown of the day for Marshawn Coppridge.
Does a really good job of selling this. It looks like it's going to be a bounce play to the outside on the right. Watch him make one cut. Gives you that hop step like he's going to hop to the outside and just cuts hard on the inside. Low to the ground, low center of gravity. What a day Coppridge is having.
Dare I say the wiggle looks like it's back.
The wiggle looks like it's back, particularly close to the end zone.
7th game over 150 yards rushing this year for Marshawn Coppridge. 21 carries, 155 yards, 3 TDs for Marshawn Coppridge. And right now the Eagle defense can't stop the Redbirds offense. Copperidge's third touchdown run of the game has made it an 18-point lead for Illinois State. Let's look back. Our keys to this game, and I think the first one is the most important, especially from the Illinois State perspective. Our Northwestern Mutual planning for success. You said before the game, their offense needs to avoid turnovers and maintain ball control. They have no turnovers and no punch yet in this game with 4:24 left in the third quarter.
Long drives, and they're winning the battle of time of possession easily, almost 2-1 defense. They've contained Adams besides the one big play in Eastern Washington. That the offense has done okay. It's just the defense has not been able to get off the field, whether it's the run or the pass. They've given up over 300 yards total offense already.
Well, they kick it deep. Hill from the 2. Flag comes out, and he's tackled at the 26. And a little pushing at the end. By the way, C.J. Laros, who's the punter for Illinois State from Australia, I know his family's watching it down in Australia. They haven't been able to see him yet today because Illinois State hasn't punted. Here's the call.
Holding on the receiving team, number 31. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, Illinois State. Washington, Eastern Washington.
Yeah, we got you. We got you covered.
I don't know if I've ever seen where coming into a game you knew the game plan had to be ball control and keep the opposing offense on the sideline. I mean, they've executed to perfection. And there's been a sense of urgency all game for the Eastern Washington Eagles. Right now, you hate to say it, this is just the third quarter. It's desperation mode offensively. They must continue to score.
And this is their worst starting field position from their own 17. That dropped. I think Cup, well, they're going to say he caught that. It must have been an optical illusion. He does gain a couple up to the 20.
I think he's going to pin this ball up against his leg. It's going down. Yeah,
oh, he did catch it. Wow. So he did gain 3. Second down at 7. Adams picked off. Alex Donnelly with his third pick of the season, and he's going to return it to the 22, and things get even more desperate for Eastern Washington after their second turnover of the game.
This is the scouting report here. They said if we leave the middle of the field wide open and give them a blitz, they're going to try and force the ball deep down the middle because they're aggressive. Great job by Donnelly looking up Cup, recognizing him where he is on the ball, knowing the ball's coming. That's following the game plan. The scouting report was perfect. Normally you take that matchup. You say you have Cup against a linebacker, middle of the field wide open. They anticipated that, baited Adams into the throw, and this place got quiet in a hurry.
Well, I don't think it's going out of bounds to say right now Eastern Washington's defense needs to at least hold them to a field goal try here, because another touchdown for Illinois State would really put things not out of reach but close to it. There's a throw to the 19. Guess who makes that catch? Meredith. What hands. You know, that wasn't an easy routine catch right there.
It was not a tough throw, but when you've got a big target like Meredith, you just get it in his vicinity and you know he will body the defensive back out. Robertson's going to go late to the outside, which is always dangerous, but look at him extend the hands. He catches everything in his hands. You don't see that too often.
He almost caught that one-handed again. 7 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Touchdown catch came on a remarkable one-handed grab. Kept by Roberson. Going east-west, uses a stiff arm and lunges forward near the 15. It was Tevin McDonald, free safety, bringing him down.
I know we talked during the break, and we just keep shaking our head how they have not been able to get a stop all game long, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. I mean,
well,
to be quite honest, you have to call it like you see it on the field. I mean, Illinois State can run the ball when they want to. They can throw the ball when they want to.
7 of 10 on third down. I'm not going to say this is the game right here, but if Eastern Washington can't stop them, they're in big trouble. 3rd and 2. Copperidge.
That's too many cuts. And that's what I mean by control the line of scrimmage.
First down run.
On 3rd and 2, when you watch the number of cuts you're going to see Coppers make, that means there's no penetration in the backfield. 1, 2, 3. I mean, he's dancing in the holes when, if you're controlling the line of scrimmage, you're avoiding shots. He's not avoiding shots. He's dancing, picking his spots. The offensive line for Illinois State has won this battle all game long.
Redbirds 5 of 5 in the red zone today. They're in there again, a first down from the 13.
They're 80% now on 3rd down conversions. 8 of 10, that's phenomenal.
They did come in converting 50% of their 3rd downs on the season.
50's not 80, Mark.
No, it's not. But it's a pretty good mark for a long season. Roberson cuts back, and he's inside the 5.
The only reason I'm not going to say Illinois State's going to win this football game is because I've seen Vernon Adams put up.
That's the wild card in all
put up
this.
38 points in one half of football. He's going to have about a quarter to make up at least 18 points.
It could very easily be 25 here if they're not careful. Roberson has carried the ball 10 times for 54 yards. 158 yards through the air as well. Coppridge, that time well defended, pushed all the way back. Forward progress though to the 5. Cody McCarthy, Zachary Johnson, and others blocking the hole there. Well, he already has 3 touchdown runs, and I think he's disappointed right there he didn't get a 4th. Another big play, 3rd and 2.
You go Roberson or you go Coppridge? I mean,
I'm going Coppridge if I'm calling the plays here.
Well, they're taking away Coppridge from you right now. They're pre-snap read.
So Roberson takes it himself and is into the end zone, touchdown. Well, pick your poison.
You think you control the number count? Well, we'll use Coppridge as a lead blocker. That's all they decided to do. Get there and say, they've got the numbers and not willing to vacate the box. Coppridge, you go as a lead blocker. We'll pull our center, Mark Spellman, and Roberson goes into the end zone untouched.
So 14 points off turnovers now. Well, it will be 14 after the extra point if converted by Ossaker, and he does so. 45-20. Of course, these points coming off the interception and turned into 7.
I mean, entourage, and that's 3rd and 2 down in the red zone. How does he get so wide open? It's all in the trenches, and I think a statement's being made, and I've heard this for a while in the FCS landscape. The Missouri Valley Football Conference.
Physical.
Could be the most physical conference in the country because they are dominating the line of scrimmage, and North Dakota State has dominated folks for years, and Illinois State's figured out the recipe for success as well. This is a pretty dominating performance they're putting on right now.
Well, the Missouri Valley Conference newcomer of the year, Trey Roberson, with a touchdown of 5 yards, capping off the 6-play drive. Winner of this game takes on the 1 seed New Hampshire. North Dakota State, the 3-time defending champion, has Sam Houston State in their semifinal matchup next weekend.
Yeah, North Dakota State from the Missouri Valley Conference. Sam Houston from down there in the Southland, and New Hampshire, lone representative from the CAA, what used to be the mighty CAA, that once upon a time had on a regular basis 2 of the last 4 teams in. But I think there's been a little change in dynamic in that Missouri Valley Conference. Tough to knock off.
Kicking it deep to Hill at the 5. 20, 25, 30. 35 spun around and down at the 39. The Eastern Washington sideline saying that the kicker, Ossaker, got a face mask or something to help twist him down, but no flag. Eastern Washington needs points. Vernon Adams leads it back onto the field when we come back to Cheney. Well, Redbirds head coach Brock Spack, who was a defensive guy, Purdue defensive coordinator under Joe Tiller, has his offense going. And this was not a face mask. Osseker, the kicker, did get him high, but he didn't get the face mask. Just kind of spun him down around the neck. That's a legal tackle.
If had he gone to the ground, I think behind him, maybe you call the horse collar tackle, but not a face mask. Shaq Hill's not a big guy, 5'8", 5'9", 180 pounds, easy to turn.
Eastern Washington begins at their own 39-yard line as we begin the fourth quarter. Finding Cup at the 45-yard line of Illinois State. You hear the cheer from the crowd. I think they want more Cup in this game. They're going to need it to come back.
They're going to have to throw the football. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a crowd that gets used to vertical pass plays downfield, and the explosive offense will be tested.
Adams escapes somehow, but then is brought down behind the line at the 47.
Watch David Perkins' relentless pursuit of Vernon Adams. I mean, he's coming off the line spinning on your left side of the screen. Spin move. Keep going. He's being held, grabbing him, then coming back into play. Great pass rush by David Perkins, the athlete from South Bend, Indiana.
Adams lots of time and then incomplete. Intended for Cup.
How good is Vernon Adams? You know, we talked earlier at halftime about potential for Heisman campaign and Peyton Award. I mean, look at this right here.
Well, they get outscored by Illinois State 21-3 in the third quarter. After trailing by 7 at the half. Adams, completion. Splendorio with his first catch. All the way down to the 15. Nick Splendorio, a redshirt freshman from Sammamish, Washington.
And these are the big plays that they're accustomed to seeing. Vernon Adams standing tall in the pocket, delivering the ball downfield.
33-yard gain, but here's the call on the flag.
Dead ball, personal foul, offense number 59, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's the center, Jace Budarak, called for the personal foul. And here's the catch and the run by Splendorio.
Oh, coming in,
wow.
diving on the pile.
Way too late.
Look at this. You're going to see white jerseys, and here he comes, 59. Diving on the pile.
Oh, 290 pounds. Yep. And that's instead of a first down at the 15. They do have a first down still, but it's all the way back at the 30.
Budarak, first-year starter, and offensive line coach Aaron Best was singing his praises, saying he's really stepped up his senior year, giving a standout performance.
Adams to the end zone, back of the end zone, caught but out of the end zone by Shaq Hill.
You know what they say about East Washington? They go deep. I mean, they're going to go deep. I mean, how many games do we see this many balls thrown beyond 25 yards? Great concentration on the catch, but not enough real estate. And I was looking at some statistics. Eastern Washington has completed 40 plays this season of more than 40 yards.
Wow.
They go deep.
If this were the CFL with the bigger end zone.
Yeah, that would have been a touchdown. But you know what they say in baseball? Chicks like the long ball. Up here, I mean, they love this offense. They go deep.
Throw too high. Incomplete for Mitchell. Corey Mitchell. By the way, I guess we should say Bo Levi Mitchell. Speaking of the Canadian Football League.
Yep.
Doing well up there.
Yeah. Totally just won a Grey Cup.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Bo Levi Mitchell, former Peyton Award winner. Now showing his winning ways in Calgary as they won the Grey Cup.
Just 3 and 9 on third down today, and a 3rd and 10 from the 29. Adams throws underneath and dropped a rare drop by Cooper Kupp, and it's going to be 4th down.
Wow. Few mistakes by Kupp, just trying to run after the catch before he caught the ball. He's turning to look. He turns too soon before he secures the football. Now it's 4th down. So think about that big play that was wiped out because of the penalty on the center. And now all of a sudden, you don't get this one, season over maybe?
It very well may be. Already down by 25. Still early in this fourth quarter. 4th and 10. Adams again gives Cup a chance.
Ooh, it's going to come down to the spot. Whoa.
He may have it with that spot.
I don't think so. They're giving it to him right away. The official change on the other side. They moved the chains. That was generously quick.
By an eyelash. So they do convert on 4th and 10. First down from the 19. Adams, Cup dropped another. Wow. Glass on the coverage.
Second one, he knows he has to curl around. He sees them. You know, that's something you have to realize. He sees the defensive back once he comes out of the break, so he knows not to come running out full speed. Maybe in anticipation of getting hit.
It also tells me a little bit, Jay, and you can agree or disagree. When Cup drops 2 like that, this team's pressing right now. I mean, they know the season's on the line big time. There's a carry for Forte up the middle. When Cup's dropping passes, you know they're gripping it pretty tightly right now.
They are. They're in unfamiliar territory. I mean, down by this much is the largest deficit they've had all season long. We talked, they lost to the University of Washington by 7 points. In a regular season game, Northern Arizona by 1. So,
and Adams was spectacular in that near miss at Washington. Adams pump fakes, goes towards Hill. That's a flag.
It's a wrestling match.
Yeah, Mike Banks bumped into him right at the goal line with the ball in the air.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. Penalty occurred in the end zone. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Double move. Is this no doubt? Grabbed him here. Grabbed him here. Took him everything but the takedown.
And Hill got a little push there at the end with the hand on the helmet. First and goal from the 2. From the eye. Bring in Wimberly as the fullback. Fake the handoff to Forte, and Adams can take it in easily. Touchdown. His 6th rushing touchdown of the year. A score that Eastern Washington desperately needed at this point.
Great ball skills here on the play fake to Forte. Quick decision outside, contain, falls for the play action in the backfield, and got in the end zone.
McNanny for the extra point. Snuck that one in the right upright. 45-27, but it's still a 3-score game. That was an 11-play drive going 61 yards, but did eat up only 2 minutes and 40 seconds in the 2-yard touchdown run for Vernon Adams. They had to have this score, Jay.
Desperately needed, but in desperate times, call for leaders to step up. Vernon Adams gets in.
there in the center of the screen with the sock cap on. That's Bo Levi Mitchell, Grey Cup champ, FCS national champ here at Eastern Washington in 2010.
See your quarterback. It's got to be a good feeling to go into a stadium which you led the team to a national championship, and then you look on the walls and they've got your picture, like bigger than a fathead version of it, which Peyton Award winner. He's here in support of his, I want to say his younger brother, but his older brother.
Yeah, his older brother is the receiver, Corey Mitchell. Bo Levi Mitchell. Calgary beat Hamilton in the Grey Cup this year.
I couldn't have had that, Mark, I'll tell you. Thing right there at the stadium.
Onside kick. But it looks like Illinois State does recover. Recovered by Colin Keoshin. Big 6'3", 260-pound senior.
See the desperation, but Keoshin plays defensive tackle for Illinois State, but he was a converted running back.
How about that?
He's had a good year starting defensive tackle, showing the nice hands and able to come up with the recovery.
Well, the Eagles 0 for 3 on onside kicks this season, attempting one there. And you can see why, but now, I was just about to say, Jay, their defense really needs a stop. And the onside kick, I can understand as far back as they are why they did that, but they really now have their defense.
That's been the story of this game. Yeah. They need to stop. They need to stop. But I mean, you see two safeties high right now. That means they're not willing to sacrifice. So they're going to play base defensive coverage, which I don't think is conducive for creating turnovers that they need or stop.
Robertson going to go to the air. What hands? Yeah, I just continue to be marveling at Cameron Meredith.
Those are pro hands.
I agree.
A decent wide receiver has to go down to make this catch. A good wide receiver just snatches the ball out of the air. Ball's thrown low. Doesn't even break stride. Just goes to make the catch. Look, just go get it. Go low. Long arms. Good hands. Confidence in his hands. Doesn't have to go to the ground.
He's closing in on 1,000 yards receiving for the season. 67 today. So he's at 974 overall on the year. This is Coppridge.
Let's also give credit to offensive coordinator Kurt Beathard. When the situation says run the football right now, he's come out and said we're more than just a running football team. We're a balanced offense. We can attack in the passing game. You've got a nice lead. You're on the road. Comes out first down, pass. So that lets you know the faith that he's developed in Trey Roberson. Coach Roxbay, who said this team's probably a year ahead of schedule. Well, this year's not done.
No. Look out this year. 400 total yards. Roberson going to take off himself to the 31. It'll be 3rd and 6. Tripped up by Cody McCarthy. Roberson has a season of eligibility left. He'll be back next year, you would assume. Coppridge the same.
Coming back. Need to replace a couple offensive linemen, particularly the bookends, the tackles, but it's a good football team coming back. You have to run the football here.
Well, he's going to throw it and going towards the end zone. Wow. It's caught and in the end zone. Touchdown.
Play for the win.
Neblett's 8th TD catch of the season.
Play for the win. And that's what you have to do. I'm a little conservative. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm playing, hey, you run it, you take a little clock, you don't worry about that. They come out, we get one-on-one. We're going to get Eastern Washington like they get so many other people. We're going to throw the ball downfield on them. That's a dagger. That's establishing team. We're not going to settle with the amount of points we have right now. We know what they're going to give us, and we're going to take it. That's how you win postseason playoff games on the road.
And their offense has not been stopped today. 10.5 minutes left in this fourth quarter. And Illinois State right now looking like they're going to have a date next weekend in New England. The catch and the touchdown for Neblett, 52-27. Welcome back to the NCAA FCS Championship quarterfinal presented by Northwestern Mutual. Trey Roberson with his second touchdown pass of the game, his 27th of the year, so that now ties him for the Illinois State single season record for TD passes in a season. Gives him a 25-point lead with 10.5 minutes left. Came in averaging 29 points allowed by their opponent this year and have given up a whopping 52. Hill from the 3. 20-25 and out near the 30.
One thing that Illinois State never did, they never seemed intimidated at all. And we've been here before. We've seen teams get off the slow starts against the Eagles here on the Inferno, and we've seen teams not finish them off. I mean, this is probably, and I've been here doing postseason games. This is my 3rd appearance here in 5 years. And I believe this is probably one of the most thorough performances I've seen. Offensively done a good job. Defensively done a good job containing Vernon Adams. That was the key. They know they couldn't stop him. How do you contain Vernon Adams? And they have just followed the script.
Well, if there's a quarterback out there that can overcome a 25-point deficit in 10.5 minutes, Adams would be that guy. He's going to need some help from his defense as well, but right now he's going to get sacked back at the 24 by Teddy Corwin.
That's one of the few sacks they've had on Corwin. Corwin, 6'5", 260-pound junior from St. Louis. 5.5 sacks on the season, but more importantly, he has 3 interceptions. And look at that. I didn't see that coming.
Wow.
I mean, and for Roberson, don't have to outplay Vernon Adams. Just don't get completely outplayed by Adams.
Just out of reach of Cup. You know, Cup and Adams really have not been on the same page all day today.
They gave him something to think about. I mean, Adams has not been completely comfortable in the pocket. He hasn't come out and played his sharpest game. And I think the threat of a pass rush will do that to any quarterback. How do you make a great quarterback average? You hit him. And I think the thought of that and the pressure with Perkins and his athleticism always distract on the outside, and Teddy Corwin, they just have not been able to get in unison.
3rd and 14. Deep throw, and that's too high for Cup. But now you're at a point in the game here, Jay. I mean, it's 4th and 14 from your own 29, and they may just have to go for it to have any chance.
He's open. I mean, these are throws that Adams hits most time. They've not been there. The timing hasn't been there today. Adams hasn't been as sharp as he's accustomed to, and they've missed their opportunities for those explosive plays that they're so reliant upon.
So they're forced to go for it on 4th and 14 from their own 25.
I would double Cup. Somebody else has to catch this besides Cup.
Adams. That will be enough for the first down to catch by Corey Mitchell. Got it by about a yard.
And that's what you need. They double team Cup, and you need the supporting cast to come up and pick up the yardage.
So they're a perfect 3 of 3 on 4th down today. Lots of time, but that time elapsing, and Adams going to have to do something, and he throws it down underneath the Cup, who makes a move. Down the sideline, 35 down to the 30. Cooper Kupp saying, hey, I got a little wiggle myself here.
Oh, that was a shake. That's like they say he shook his jock strap off of him. I haven't seen that in a while. I mean, take a look at this. Talk about leaving somebody. Look at it. Wham!
Mike Banks.
He can play.
May have left a little equipment back on the field, what you're referring to there.
that was, you know, and we talked about Cooper Kupp, and obviously a lot of people compare him to Brandon Kaufman, who was a standout wide receiver. Well, Kaufman was 6'5", about 220 pounds, and every time there was a jump ball, Kaufman came down with it. Kupp has that ability to get in and out of breaks a little bit quicker, step ahead of time, so he's a special guy. And you don't believe me, ask Mike Banks. He just got shook up.
Dave Perkins there attending to him, Illinois State defensive end, when we come back.
in the design and manufacture of sports and large area lighting solutions. From neighborhood ball fields to international speedways, Musco is committed to providing cost-effective lighting solutions and services you can rely on. For your budget, for the environment, Musco. For nearly 40 years, Musco has specialized in the design and manufacture of sports and large area lighting solutions. From neighborhood ball fields to international speedways, Musco is committed to providing cost-effective lighting solutions and services you can rely on. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting, we make it happen.
Well, here in Cheney, Washington, 9:09 to play fourth quarter, 52-27, Illinois State leading. Cooper Kupp, by the way, now 8 catches, 120 yards. He has 15 games now in his career of 100-plus receiving yards. Right now, Vernon Adams trying to keep hope alive for the Eagles, and goes to Kupp in the end zone, touchdown.
They do a really good job of isolating Kupp on linebackers and safeties. And they perform in unison. So Vernon Adams did a good job of looking him off to the left. Everything left, come back right. And all Kupp did was just to replace the safety where the safety was. Tevin Allen just replaced him 20 yards downfield. Didn't take long. They've got quick strike now. If any team in the country can come back from this deficit, I think it's a team we're watching in Eastern Washington.
And he missed it wide right. 52-33. Cooper Kupp with back-to-back 30-yard receptions on that drive. The last one, a 30-yard touchdown catch.
See, the pump fake to the left held the safety, and that gave Kupp the whole middle of the field to operate. No linebackers dropping deep. That's pretty easy throw, and I like that schematically.
8:57 to play, fourth quarter. 52-33, Illinois State. The NCAA FCS Football Championship is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. The NCAA FCS Football Championship is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. 8:57 left, fourth quarter. It's still a three-score game with Illinois State up 19. It was a mild surprise when Eastern Washington attempted an onside kick the last time they kicked. This time it will be no surprise, as they will try to keep their hopes alive by covering this onside kick. And they have it.
Good job realizing you cannot advance an onside kick once it's touched. If you make the recovery, ball's dead right there. Had you been able to advance it,
he might have had a touchdown if this were the NFL.
But they got the big hop.
Right into the arms of Splendorio. He's a wide receiver.
And Mike Banks comes up, their athlete comes up and tries to jump, leave his feet, make the recovery, not able to field it cleanly. Vernon Adams and crew have the ball back.
8:52 left.
You have to cover the middle field. It's too wide open.
Sliding catch at the 43 by Corey Mitchell. First down.
Take a look at this coverage that they're getting pre-snap read. Look how open the middle of the field is. There are no safeties on the hashes. They're all going wide. That's dangerous.
Wide open, and Splendorio, who just recovered the onside kick, falls out of bounds at the 35.
Look at the two safeties. Look at the deep men right there around the 22-yard line. Those safeties are playing wide. There they're going.
For Cup.
That's easy.
Wow. Is the miracle comeback well underway?
If they keep playing that coverage, yes. I mean, that is poor cover two coverage, allowing him to get a free release down the field on your linebacker. Those two safeties 20 yards apart from each other. I don't know if there'll be an easier throw that you'll see Vernon Adams make.
Well, they're going to go for two here. Try to make this an 11-point game and make it a two-score game with a touchdown, extra point, and field goal, but they need to convert here. Adams for Cup, incomplete. The two-point conversion fails. The coverage by Dreshane Glass, freshman out of Garland, Texas. Cup looks a little shaken up there.
Another look at the touchdown. This Cup running untouched downfield. Here they try and get a little rub outside. That's one there. There's a little hold going on there, but I'm sure Cup will be the first to tell you he's got to make that catch.
Three-play drive, 54 yards, took 36 seconds. 52-39. The lead is 13. Now 8:21 left, and I would say under normal circumstances, maybe you don't onside kick, but when you haven't stopped the other team's offense all day, you got to onside kick again.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. You got lucky one time. What you can't afford to do is have them recover, kick another field goal, then end it. So I think you have to kick it away.
Think you kick it away?
I mean, you have 8 minutes. I mean, you still have 3 timeouts.
That's true.
Get a stop, another quick score.
Well, the way they're lining up looks like, well, we'll see how they end up here, but it looks like they're going to kick it away.
They don't have anybody really deep. If you get full momentum going, you may be able to recover this kick with a pooch.
Doing a pooch towards the near sideline. Allen comes up.
Field it. Okay.
Makes a tough catch at the 25-yard line. Because that's a live ball there if he doesn't come up with that. Well, can Eastern Washington pull this thing off when Illinois State looked like they were going to run away and hide after the third quarter? It has gotten this crowd at Cheney back into it. The lead is 12 for Trey Roberson and Illinois State. Kept by Roberson. And it took a nice tackle by Raines to keep him from getting to the edge, but a flag is out.
No play.
Number 84, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Joe Farmer, the tight end.
Uh-oh. This is one of those moments where you say, uh-oh.
Yeah, I think right now, if you're Illinois State or a Redbird fan,
20 seconds.
Your level of comfort, which about 5 minutes ago on the clock was looking really good, now you're starting to sweat things a little bit.
You need your offense to get another first down or two. It's, now you're facing 1st and 15. Maybe that's what the Eastern Washington defense needs, is the assist of a penalty on an offside or a false start to get them going to come up with the stop.
Roberson, Meredith to the 26, gets him back near the original line of scrimmage prior to the penalty. Tackled by the linebacker Ronnie Hamlin.
They're going to their go-to man. They clear it out for him in the middle of the field. He makes the catch, picks up the 5 yards that they lost on the penalty, and keeps that clock moving. You have to bring pressure if you're Eastern Washington right now. They don't want to do it.
And Coppridge breaks free, and this could be the final nail in the coffin. Gone. 74-yard touchdown run. Marshawn Coppridge says, let's go to New England.
The look was so vanilla, and Eastern Washington just refused to bring the safety up to do their best run blitz. I mean, make one person miss.
4th touchdown run of the game for Coppridge. And great Nat sound there from our audio. You could hear the crowd excited, and then they see the season slipping away as Coppridge runs down the field.
The good news is, I mean, didn't eat up a lot of clock. You're getting the ball back with 7 minutes.
Oh, you are a silver lining guy, my friend, which is what I like about you.
But yeah, the unwillingness. I say I'm surprised to see them not sacrifice and bring 8 men down in the box, force them to throw the ball one-on-one. I don't think you play soft run coverage versus one of the top rushers in the country.
And the Eastern Washington defense has still not stopped Illinois State today. So I'm going to go back and say they should have onside kicked again. It's easy with these 20/20 hindsight glasses I have on.
Yeah, when you're there at 1st and 15 and they pick up 5 yards, okay, 2nd and 10, I mean, stop them. But unwilling to leave their comfort zone. And, you know, we keep talking about D coordinator John Graham. I mean, I think at the end of the day, the front 4, actually the front 7 of Eastern Washington just has not gotten the job done today.
25 carries, 232 yards for Coppridge with 4 TDs. He's averaging 9.3 yards a carry, which obviously got helped out a lot right there on a 74-yard touchdown run.
And the key to a good defense, you want to make the team one-dimensional. You know, make them, right now, Eastern Washington's one-dimensional. All they can do is throw the football. For Illinois State, they can run it, they can throw it. Bootleg, they've got everything going, and they never made them one-dimensional in this football game.
Back to a 3-score game. From the 8-yard line, this is Cooper Kupp to the 25. Well, the winner of this game will be facing New Hampshire, the #1 seed next weekend. We also know the other semifinal matchup is North Dakota State, got by Coastal Carolina. Sam Houston State, winner over Villanova. Villanova without quarterback John Robertson today. They lose by 3. So you have 2 Missouri Valley Conference teams, assuming if Illinois State does hang on here, playing on opposite sides against the Southland Conference and the Colonial. And here's Adams going deep and incomplete in the direction of Corey Mitchell.
I like this defense I'm seeing from Illinois State now. Nobody's getting behind you deep, and they're allowing their bookends just to rush. 3-man rush. Perkins and Corwin, the 2 ends, are the ones you have to watch. Freight in the middle, but everybody else is getting back and seconded. And now they've covered up the middle of the field as well. Everybody just dropping, keeping everything in front.
Adams trying to lead Shaq Hill, incomplete at the 45. Josh Birch had the primary coverage.
And what's the adjustment you have to make for Eastern Washington? Crossing routes. So if they're taking away the deep balls down the seam, down the outside, down the middle of the field, what do? You have to maybe get a 10-yard in cut, let somebody run after catch where they can run underneath the coverage, make somebody miss for the big play.
3rd and 10. Adams,
there it is.
Wide open to Splendorio. Going to run out of bounds at about the 45. First down there. Stopping the clock with exactly 7 minutes to go.
So it shifted. So now you have to find a crease in the seam. And you find the crease and you allow them to run after catch. Watch this block by Shaq Hill. Springing Splendorio for an extra 5 yards.
Clock restarts as they get the chain set.
Same coverage, you can do the same thing.
And picked, headed the other way. Mike Banks down in midfield.
He jumped the route. And that's a fantastic job by an experienced cornerback who's been starting for 4 years at the school. Single receiver side, he knew he had help over the top. He said, so if I decide to jump this route, I have a safety that's going to come up and make a tackle for me. He says, okay, I'm just going to plant and I'm going to jump it. Beats him to the spot. And that's smart. Knowing that you have help behind you, why not take a chance? That, my friend, is going to do it.
Second pick of the year for Banks. 6:41 still to go, but a 59-39 20-point lead, and the Redbirds have their offense back on the field. 3rd turnover of the game for Eastern Washington. 2 picks and a fumble. Coppridge to the 47.
Now it's obvious run time, and I still don't know if Eastern Washington's going to be able to stop them. Everybody knows they're going to come out and run the football right now. Take a little time off the clock. But what a job by the offensive line for Illinois State.
Well, I think the overriding question coming in, Jay, was it not the physical size of the Missouri Valley Conference team, Illinois State, against the team that's maybe more athletic? Well, size is winning this battle today. And here's the athleticism and the run for Coppridge, who slides and takes a seat at the 33.
And the guards, I mean, Kyle Avaloy, Mark Spellman, the center, Rocco Ammons, the right guard, 71. I mean, there have been holes in the middle. They've got the bookend tackles in Leakey and Barton. And I was looking at the scouting report and said, if you take out the center, who weighs about 280 pounds, this offensive line averages 315 pounds per man when they play like it. I mean, they play big, they play physical. Their quarterback doesn't get touched, and the running backs have nice holes to run through.
Coppridge, a career high 249 yards rushing. Got a chance to go over 250 here, and will do so by a yard or two up to the 30. Well, remember at halftime, this was a 7-point game, and there was a question whether Coppridge physically was going to be able to come back and play, and obviously he has come back and played, and it's made a huge difference in this game.
And when he was a little banged up, relied on his vision and his experience carrying the football, and then loosened up that ankle and was able to hit the home run ball. But he's a good one. I mean, I think next year this time we're going to be talking about Coppers and Roberson battling for that Peyton Award. Just like this year it was Cup and Adams battling for it, and some people think Cup might have cost Vernon Adams a couple votes. That's a good predicament to have.
Yeah, when you have two players that are going to be in the conversation like that, you've got a pretty good football team. Illinois State, who lost here 2 years ago in a quarterfinal matchup, look like they're going to get a little payback here today. A lot of that thanks to Marshawn Coppridge.
He showed the toughness and the great vision and his little jump step. Not a lot of wasted movement. Sometimes you see running backs dance too much in the hole. He dances just to set up his blocks, and then showed the ability to run away from the defense. I mean, this has been a highlight reel performance. Just put in the videotape and let it play. Of all 29 carries he's had for 254 yards.
Well, his per carry average has dropped the last few carries from 9.3. Now he's at 8.8. Tough day. 4 TDs. He has 26 rushing touchdowns on the season. Came in averaging 153 yards a game, tops in the Missouri Valley Conference, and an average of 6.1 yards a carry. That was coming in. Roberson close to the first down.
Pins on the spot.
We may never see C.J. Laros, the punter, and his family in Australia is going to be very disappointed by that today. Four minutes to go. And they are short, 4th and 1, and going to go for it. They're 2 of 2 on 4th down today. Coppridge has the first down to the 20, gaining 3. Well, Illinois State, you know, they're another part of this week of preparation that we haven't talked about, Jay, that was brought up by Brock Spack, their head coach, when we talked to him. Their kids going through finals this past week. Got a lot on their plate.
Yeah, but he turned that what you may call a negative into a positive. He said, well, because they had finals, they didn't have class, so we were able to get done what we needed on the football field a little bit earlier than we would during a normal work week. Got them in and out of practice by 3 o'clock. Let them hit the books and study. So that's great coaching.
Carry for Towns. I would assume at this point we've seen the last of Coppridge. No sense at this point of the game risking anything after a career high 258 rushing yards.
Let's go back to a conversation we had that Coach Backey shared with us that he had with then North Dakota State head coach Craig Bowl after they lost to them, and Coach Bowl told him, you know what, you guys are good enough to win a national championship. He said, because the Valley, that's what they call the Missouri Valley Conference, the Valley prepares you to win national championships. Well, they didn't. They came here and got beat by Eastern Washington. But this year, I really believe Coach Spack took that same mindset, said, you know what, the Valley's prepared us to win a national championship. And you see the two teams that have won, that finished in the tie for first place, North Dakota State, Illinois State, they're both two of the last teams remaining that have a chance at winning a national championship.
And maybe headed for a finals match against one another in Frisco, but Illinois State is going to have to win on the road at New Hampshire to get there. That will be a tall order. North Dakota State at home against Sam Houston State. You would think that the Bisons would be a sizable favorite in that game.
Fargo Dome, and the fact that they've had Sam Houston State's number for a couple years, but new coaching staff, new offensive philosophy for Sam Houston State. Maybe that's what they're doing. Willie Fritz is now at Georgia Southern. So this could be interesting postseason the way it shapes up, but I'm pretty sure all the folks from Fargo, they've already made their reservation to Frisco.
Proactive, huh?
They've been there the past 3 years. We're going to make it until you force us to change our reservation.
Some of their fans may have made those reservations before the season started.
I'm sure they did.
2:21 left. Illinois State, with a win here, will take a 5-game winning streak into the semifinal game at New Hampshire and be 12-1 overall. Again, they did not play North Dakota State in the Missouri Valley Conference season. Just a little quirk of the schedule. Eastern Washington out of timeouts now with 2:16 to go.
And when you look at the playoff picture and what really happened is, New Hampshire #1 team throughout the regular season. And I think with North Dakota State, number 2, you said it's going to take a team with speed and athleticism to beat them. Coastal Carolina was that team. They got the job done. And then you take a look at Illinois State, Missouri Valley. What's it going to take to beat them? Speed and athletes. Eastern Washington couldn't get it done. So I think there's something to be said for those, and these are the teams that, as they were seeded going into the postseason.
I think Coastal Carolina, right now, they're kind of saying, we had a chance today.
Oh, yeah.
We had a chance to win in the Fargo Dome.
They didn't finish it off in the first half. They had to settle for a field goal when they had the ball on the 1-yard line with 20 seconds to go before the half. A penalty, and then that came back again in the second half. So they're closing the gap, and they've come so far in such a short period of time. I'm sure the fans of the Chanticleers are not complaining.
Coppridge back in. Here's Roberson scrambling and runs out of bounds at the 18.
They stopped him
for the first time. 4th down, he comes up short. And they turn it over on downs with 2:09 to play. They laid the dollar short, though.
And I think the story of what Joe Mogley has done at Coastal Carolina, that's probably been the story of the FCS football season thus far. Taking a program that really didn't have large expectations, and at one point in the year had them ranked #1 in the country, undefeated up until the last game of the regular season with a blocked field goal attempt at Liberty. Stopped them from having a perfect season, and probably a #1 seed overall, where North Dakota State would have had to come to them.
Adams going for Hill, who makes the adjustment and a flag. The defender never looked back. And Birch picks up the yellow hanky there.
Pass interference. Defense number 27. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
The 4th pass interference penalty against the Illinois State defense today. Two years ago on this very same field in the quarterfinals, Illinois State was beaten 51-35. And then Eastern Washington lost to Sam Houston State the following weekend in the semis here 45-42. Nice catch. And an ankle tackle brings down Mitchell. First down stops the clock briefly with 1:54 to go. Adams across the middle to Shaq Hill. Hill still on his feet inside the 20. Still going. And he's going to find the end zone. Well, if that's his last catch of the year, what a way to go out. 47-yard touchdown.
Well, he's a return specialist, and man, he can run after catch. Second leading receiver. And look at this. He just refuses to go down. Great balance. Keeps his feet churning on the spin move.
His 5th touchdown catch of the year. (59-46). Well, it's a 13-point game with 1:40 left, but it's still going to take a whole lot to go right.
2 onside kicks. They have to recover. See, the offense can score the points. can the special teams come up with 2 onside kicks?
Well, that's a great point there, Jay, because I think if you went into this game and said Eastern Washington's going to score 46, I would have said that they would win this game.
Yep.
No question that the story has been the Illinois State offense and Eastern Washington's defensive issues in trying to stop them.
Yep. I mean, they put their offense at a tremendous disadvantage early on, and they kept the pressure on them. And this Illinois State defense, I mean, they only give up 19 points a game. I mean, that is really good.
So an onside kick upcoming here with 1:40 left. $13-point game. Now there's apparently a medical issue in the stands. There was a thinking that the ambulance over there may be brought across the field. But they're going to attend to that individual without the ambulance coming across the field.
There are folks screaming.
We're actually doing CPR on an individual in the stands. So football is suddenly taking a complete back seat to the issue going on in the stands here at Cheney Field, or in Cheney, Washington, or Roos Field. The medical crew now about to reach that individual. So that has stopped the game, and with good reason. Not sure why they're not bringing the ambulance over, to be honest.
There's a little bit of confusion going on right now. Nobody in the driver's seat of the ambulance right now.
So the teams have gone to their respective sidelines. While the medical personnel continues to reach that individual, we will step aside. Well, this game at Roos Field in Cheney, Washington has come to a sudden halt with 1:40 left in the fourth quarter, and Illinois State leading Eastern Washington 59-46, and the game has taken a complete back seat as you see players on a knee. There was prayer that was going on with some of the Eastern Washington players as well as the Illinois State players. There is a fan who was being attended to right near the bottom of the stands closest to the field, where there is a small staircase, and medical personnel are attending to that individual now. The ambulance has been brought over. A fire truck is also on site as the individual is being attended to right at the top of a small staircase near the bottom of the stands closest to the field on the Eastern Washington side of the football field. So appropriately, the focus is on the attention required by that individual and the emergency personnel. So we will step aside again as that process continues here at Roos Field. An unfortunate situation here in Cheney, Washington at Roos Field with the 1:40 remaining in the football game. An individual from what we were told, full cardiac arrest is being attended to there at the bottom of the stands closest to the field behind the Eastern Washington sideline. And from what we were told, this individual needing attention immediately at this point. And as a result, the medical personnel has been administering CPR as well as some IVs to this individual. So appropriately, the game has stopped What we will do for those of you watching on ESPN3, we'll take a respite. It will indicate on your computer screen that the game will resume shortly. But we don't have an exact time when that may be, obviously, because of the pressing circumstances here and the more vital situation of attending to the individual right now from the medical personnel. So we will step aside again, and again on ESPN3 when the game resumes, you will see it on your computer screen from here in Cheney, Washington. Well, a very difficult situation here in Cheney, Washington at Roos Field. You see the game status with 1:40 left, but that has taken a back seat due to medical attention that was required by one of the fans in attendance. We have been told the individual who received CPR and left here in an ambulance is the parents of one of the Eastern Washington players. The name of that player has not been released. Prayers from both sides. And just a really unfortunate scene here at Roos Field. The teams, as you saw the ambulance leave a few minutes ago, have been given a few minutes to warm up. The conclusion of this game will happen, but very difficult circumstances here in Cheney. With 1:40 to go, a 13-point lead for Illinois State. And an onside kick coming here from Eastern Washington. And Illinois State will use a timeout. Well, winner of this game will face New Hampshire, the #1 seed, next weekend at New Hampshire. North Dakota State, Sam Houston State is the other semifinal. That will be in Fargo. Onside kick to be attempted by Tyler McNanny. And he kicks it short, but it will be eventually recovered at the 31-yard line by Illinois State. And with no timeouts for Eastern Washington, Illinois State can take a few knees and this game will officially come to an end.
Tough way to end a football game. Obviously, health is foremost, and football is just a sport. And you get reminded of reality.
And our thoughts and prayers to the family of the Eastern Washington player. But Illinois State will pick up their 12th win. And after losing here 2 years ago in a quarterfinal game, Rock's back and the Redbirds will head back to normal, knowing they have a date in the semifinals next weekend.
They won this rematch. They won the rematch with Northern Iowa this year. It's the team that continues their record-breaking ways. One win away from making it to the FCS National Championship game, which would do wonders and speak wonders for the program and the job that they've done in Normal, Illinois. Nothing normal about this football team. They're good.
So 4 teams left now in the FCS playoffs. And if you're New Hampshire, from what you saw, especially offensively from Illinois State here today, there has to be some concern.
They're balanced. I mean, a balanced team is a dangerous team. They're never going to be one-dimensional. They can throw the football. They can run the football. You know, with the star power they have running, you think right away take away the running game. But with Trey Roberson's progression as a quarterback and the ability to hurt you throwing the ball, and Meredith catching passes all over the place, this is a team that's dangerous. They're built to beat anybody.
Well, again, our thoughts and prayers to the family of the Eastern Washington player, the individual who needed medical attention, and an unfortunate end to this game. But Illinois State wins it over Eastern Washington 59-46, and the Redbirds head to New England to take on New Hampshire. Trey Roberson outstanding today. Of course, Marshawn Coppridge also brilliant. Coppridge finished with 258 yards rushing, 4 TDs, and Roberson 206 yards passing and a couple of TDs.
And Roberson's been playing football at a very, very high level the right time of year. Toward the end of the year, he's been in command, and they're a dynamic 1-2 punch. That's Roberson and Coppridge. Get used to him.
So again, the final score, Illinois State 59, and Eastern Washington 46. Well, to watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. For Jay Walker and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. To get our thoughts and prayers to the family of the Eastern Washington player due to the medical attention he required just a short time ago. Illinois State moves on. They'll play New Hampshire next weekend in the FCS semifinals. So long from Cheney, Washington.